who of the men's curling scene, but this year it's become about who's not here.
It would be nice to have the top 2 or 3 teams, I guess if you call them, like Kerry and Vic and Jeff, but they made their decisions.
The absence of Peters, Stoughton, Duguid, and the defending champions Kerry Burtnick may be just what this traditional event needs.
There's still 32 of the top teams in Manitoba playing here, and so I think it's a pretty good field, and whoever comes out I think is going to represent Manitoba well.
The reason they're gone, boycotting to play on the World Curling Tour, is seen as a way to draw attention to the sport.
That's part of the goal of the World Curling Tour, is to try to promote the sport and hopefully bring some advertisers into the game, which will improve the sport for everyone.
But not everyone agrees.
You talk to some of the guys and there's about 50-50 that it's good for curling and it isn't good for curling, but we'll see as the year progresses, as this year finishes up, and see what happens next year.
The World Curling Tour controversy isn't the only thing people are talking about here in Neepawa. The Roaring Games getting a little extra hype this week thanks to that international event that just started in Utah.
I'm sure we'll do well at the Olympics. Curling's come a long way in the last 15 or 20 years, and we just hope that it can progress just that much better in the next 15 or 20 for the young fellas.
One of this week's missing teams, Manitoba's Kerry Burtnick rink, lost the Olympic trials in December. Alberta's Kevin Martin represents Canada starting Monday.
Weekend at the Safeway Select with wins this morning by James Kirkness and Mark Lukowich. Those two met in the A-side final. There's a look at James Kirkness from Deer Lodge and Mark Lukowich, who is undefeated so far from Valor Road. Fourth end action. Kirkness has the 1-0 lead, but Lukowich with the hammer. He completes the nose hit for 2 and has the 2-1 lead after 4 ends of play. Fifth end now, James Kirkness up against 2 yellow Lukowich rocks. He'll count 1, and we are tied at 2. The teams blank the 6th and the 7th. Mark Lukowich already counting 1. The takeout here coming up will make it 2, and he has the 4-2 lead. But the critical turning point in the match happens in the 8th when Kirkness tries to get around his own red stone in front of the house, but he will wreck on it. Lukowich steals 1 yellow stone right on the button. Lukowich ends up winning this A-side matchup 5-4 as we take a look at some of the other action that happened at the 2 o'clock draw in the B-side quarterfinal. It was Barry Tall upending Ron Westcott 8-4 and Ron Gauthier over Greg McGibbon 10-7. So that leads us to the night draw. It was the B-side semifinals. Ron Gauthier up against James Kirkness. Gauthier, here we go. James Kirkness and Ron Gauthier. Gauthier steals 1 in the first for the 1-0 lead, but in the second, James Kirkness eliminates the Gauthier stone and rolls in for 2. He has a 2-1 lead. The teams exchange points in the 3rd and 4th until the 5th when Gauthier with the hammer. Kirkness' last stone wrecks on his guard. As you can see coming up here, Gauthier will have an open draw for 3 on the critical mistake and has the 5-3 lead. Gauthier would go on to steal points in 6 and 7, and in the 10th with the routine hit and stick. Gauthier advances to the AB final tomorrow morning at 9:30 against Mark Lukowich as Lukowich upended Barry Tall in the other B-side semifinal by a score of 6-5. So it's Lukowich versus Ron Gauthier in the AB final. Gauthier must defeat Lukowich 2 times to win the Safeway Select. The Safeway Select Curling Update has been brought to you by Safeway Canada. Select Premium Quality. Also, today's winner in the Safeway Select looking to skip town contest is Don Sheepit of Winnipeg. He will receive a prize pack from Manitoba Lotteries. The grand prize winner will be announced live during Global's telecast of the Safeway Select tomorrow morning. He will receive a trip for 2 to the opening of the Nokia Brier 2002 in Calgary, courtesy of WestJet, Sheridan Suites Calgary Eau Claire, and Nokia Brier 2002. In the NHL, an original six matchup between the
32 teams came to Neepawa this week to carry on Manitoba's rich curling history and follow in the footsteps of Watson and Welsh and others who have proudly carried Manitoba's hopes at the Brier. Mark Lukowich has been the strong, silent leader of this 2002 Safeway Select. For years, Lukowich has been knocking at the door. This week, he has shut the door on the rest of the field so far. But even after 7 consecutive wins, it's gut check time for Lukowich and his Valor Road teammates. The only one who can stop him now is Ron Gauthier. The emotional and sometimes very expressive skip has been this close before. Could this be his time to break through? We'll find out next as Global proudly presents the 2002 Safeway Select Provincial Men's Curling Championship.
This is the Safeway Select Men's Provincial Curling Championship, live on Global. Brought to you by Canada Safeway, select premium quality.
Last night at the Yellowhead Center, Mark Lukowich gave himself 2 chances to win the Purple Heart as his last rock draw to the forefoot secured a 6-5 win over Barry Tull and his place in this morning's B-side final. Meanwhile, Ron Gauthier kept his select hopes alive as well with a 7-5 win over James Kirkness. Good morning, Manitoba, Canada, and all you Manitoba snowbirds who have let us know that you are watching in the United States. Welcome to Neepawa, the Yellowhead Center, and Global's live coverage of this 2002 Safeway Select Provincial Men's Curling Championship. This morning, it is the B-side final. Mark Lukowich and Ron Gauthier. Simply put, Mark Lukowich, as the A-side winner, can win the Purple Heart, the Manitoba Championship, this morning with a victory over Gauthier. If he doesn't come through this morning, he gets a second chance this afternoon. In fact, both men do. Ron Gauthier and Mark Lukowich could meet again this afternoon at 2 o'clock to decide the championship. Joining us once again on Global's coverage of curling is Kathy Gauthier. And Kathy, I'm just wondering, are you more nervous today than Ron?
Well, I don't know about that, Joe, but it certainly is a tough position. I want to know how many Pascucci's you've covered in a provincial final.
0, in fact. I know you have someone very close to you right now.
I do indeed, Ron. It's unusual to be in a provincial final against a guy that you have played so much in 1 year. Tell us about your record against Lukowich, and also, is that an advantage or a disadvantage?
I don't know. We've played Mark probably, 7, 8 times. He beat us twice in the zone to get here. So today it's we have to beat him twice to be the provincial champion. So I guess kind of ironic.
And you know, Joe, I know I'm supposed to be professional, and I will do the best job I can today to be unbiased, but I hope fans at home don't mind if I say, good luck, Goathead. Back to you, Joe.
I'm not sure Ron wanted everybody to know that that was his nickname. Also joining us for the 16th time here on Global's coverage of curling is 1976 Manitoba champion Don Finkbeiner. And Don, it's a nerve-wracking moment when you're this close to the provincial championship. Do you think Mark Lukowich is nervous?
Well, I'm sure he is, and at the start of the game perhaps, but I think he'll settle into that very quickly. Mark, this is, you know, you have sort of 2 lives here today, but under the circumstances, how do you think you're going to approach this first game?
We're going to play the way we've been playing all week. We're going to use our normal strategy. We just want to go out there and play our game.
That's right. Okay, good luck, and now back up to you, Joe.
Thank you very much, Don. Thank you very much, Kathy. And thanks to Ron and to Mark Lukowich as well. First in action, B-side final from Neepawa coming up right after this.
When it comes to farm fresh ideas, Granny's knows best. From our family to your family. Granny's Manitoba grown quality chicken and turkey.
Farm fresh taste and country goodness, Granny's.
What does it take to excel? It takes hard work. It takes dedication, determination, commitment. You give it your all. Be proud of your athletes. We are. Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring.
$7.5 million of anything is a lot. $7.5 million is Friday's Lotto Super 7. It's a whack of cash.
Where can you find maximum value and great taste?
Sweet! Sweet!
With over 30 Manitoba locations in towns and cities large and small.
Hurry! Hurry hard!
Where you're treated just like family and made to feel at home.
Hurry! Hurry! Yep!
Chicken Chef, serving up fresh, wholesome meals that always hit the spot.
Come on in, the Chicken Chef. We're cooking up something good for you.
As morning breaks in communities all across Canada, Robbins helps you start your day with our special blend coffee.
A full-bodied brew, guaranteed fresh on the first taste, or we'll replace it.
And Robbins mealtime combos and freshly prepared subs are welcome anytime.
At work or at play.
Part of your community. You always get a break at Robbins.
Wondering how to get ahead in today's stormy investment climate? Save real money on taxes by investing in Manitoba's largest and most successful venture capital fund, the Crocus Investment Fund. You gain real tax savings now, and your returns can keep growing and growing through Crocus Value Investments in strong Manitoba companies. Ask your advisor about the Crocus Tax Savings Advantage today, or call the Crocus Investment Fund at 925-RRSP.
When it comes to farm fresh ideas, Granny's knows best. From our family to your family. Granny's Manitoba grown quality chicken and turkey.
Farm fresh taste and country goodness. Granny's.
Well, we've had great ice. These guys have been on here for 5 days. They know that the finish comes at the end, goes to 3.5, almost 4 feet both ways. Very consistent. Corner guards, similar movement. We've got a lot from the inside out and the outside in. Not a lot of problems with frost throughout the week. The challenge seems to have been on the hit game, ironically enough. Moves all the way when you're playing it in the house. The big issue is when you want to run back your own, you're taking ice right in the middle of the rock, and where we're seeing teams overthrow it, it's chipping it this way, and if they underthrow it, it's going right by. Consistency is key.
Reading the Ice is brought to you by Chicken Chef Family Restaurants. Real quality, real value, real selection, made in Manitoba. And by Lotto Super 7. What's your dream?
And for this very first end, it'll be the A-side winner, Mark Lukowich, who will have the advantage of last rock. And as you can see, Mark Lukowich playing the Yellowstones, Ron Gauthier, the Red Rocks.
And once again, same things happen, Joe. It's not until the AB final, if in fact there is an AB final, that A final makes any difference in terms of rock selection, color selection, and last rock. If this game does go to this afternoon, Mark Lukowich and his team would get to choose their rocks, their color, and have last rock. But for now, this B final, it was the team on the top of the board, which was Gauthier, that got red, as it's been all week, and they did the coin toss, and that toss was won by Mark Lukowich.
Take a look at the two teams, and the Ron Gauthier team with Grant Misselbacher at lead, Dave Soteric at second, Chris Fulsher, the veteran, at third, and Ron Gauthier, of course, the skip. In fact, these are all veteran teams. The Lukowich team, Shane Kilgallen at lead, Dave Elias at second, Chris Suchi at third, and the skip, of course, is Mark Lukowich.
Hard all the way. Hard all the way.
Be interesting to see how this goes. Yesterday in the A-side final, we saw Mark Lukowich having a very tentative start. He did not have last rock, and he told us at the 5th and break that their game plan was to keep it simple until they managed to secure last rock advantage. He's got it now.
Dave Soteric.
Get close. Yep. Hooray!
Oh, he threw this one way inside on it. He's just going to hit a piece of it.
All right.
Fortunate to do so. Could be some early nerves or just not just the best throw, one of the two.
Well, it's bound to be nerve-wracking for both of the teams here. Just to get a few shots in, get the first few rocks underway is great. And for Dave Elias, it's a good opportunity here to get draw weight right off the bat, so he gets a chance to throw.
Halfway.
Interesting. Mark's playing right off the bat to try to get some rocks in play, which says that he's coming out here with the attitude, I'm going to play one game today, and it's going to be this one.
And the game plan for Ron Gauthier.
Well, I think the big thing for both of these teams is to keep the emotions in check, to play with emotion, but to keep them under control. Line calling's been huge for these guys. We saw last night they made the right line calls, made lots of big doubles, and the big draw, Ron consistently sets it up when he does not, or when he has last rock, that if he has to bail, he's going to hit the 4-foot, and if he's going to play that way, when that challenge comes, he's got to make that shot.
Lukowich puts up the corner guard. Ron Gauthier puts up a center line guard.
What?
Don, the game plan for Mark Lukowich.
Yeah, they've got to go for it. This in, like as Kathleen mentioned, it's actually emotions on both of the teams, really. And he's got to forget about the fact that he's got 2 lives here, and he's got to go for this. And I think he'd indicated that with that corner guard on the first one. Now, Mark is a quiet guy, but he has to show some leadership here. And whereas you see Ronnie Gauthier is a much more emotional guy, but again, both of the teams have to keep their emotions in check.
And having been in that position before in 2 out of the 3 provincial titles that I've won, we came through the A-side, play that B-side game, and I know in both times, the first time in '92 against Karen Purdy and the second time out in Verdun against Barb Spencer, thinking that you just never want to go that second game, because then for the first time in the whole competition, you're the one coming off a loss and you just don't like your odds.
What about just draw open side for now? Yeah, that's fine. Center.
So they've decided to draw into the house.
Yeah, Chris doesn't want to try anything fancy right off the bat here. He just wants to keep it simple.
Third, Chris Fulcher.
I think part of the reason for that call is that even though by about the 4th end, Joe, we're going to see the ice conditions exactly as they've been. It's first thing in the morning. We have a steady flow of fans coming in, but that will change. The temperature in the building will change. And often what you find is early on in the game, the ice conditions are a little bit heavier. They're a little bit straighter. And Chris's concern was to leave it in the open and give him a hit and roll.
And I guess my mistake was they were actually playing the guard and not drawing it into the rings.
You're going based on what Chris said. Why don't we do that? Obviously, they had a little bit of an adjustment.
I actually thought that they were playing the draw into the house. But here, Mark, he's not hesitating. He's coming in behind with Chris Suchi. So
Line's fine.
this shows
Line's
that they're
good.
prepared to go for it.
Line's good. Yep.
And I think that's good, do you not, Don?
Line's good.
Well,
Mark's in the driver's seat,
no,
absolutely.
You're totally right. They've got to get aggressive in the first game and go for it. Worry about the second game if that comes to pass.
Easy, easy. Whoa. Good.
That's a great shot.
That's a nice first shot indeed.
Excellent. Fabulous.
And the crowd acknowledging that shot from Chris Suchi.
Interestingly enough, we have both second men's name is Dave, both thirds is Chris's.
Yeah, line.
Wonder how he feels about Ron Lukowich.
Whoa. Yeah. Hard. Okay, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Great shot by Chris Suchi, so asking Chris Fulcher to come down just on top of that.
Good shot. He doesn't want to bump out into the open there. Nice shot. He may leave a little bit of room there, but no, Mark's going to ignore that and come the other side.
Throwing in here. Okay.
You can see that if he tried to play the hit on the red stone that's about half open, it's automatically going to be driven on his own, which is why he's playing the other way.
Well, Mark Lukowich is very quiet.
Just easy.
Chris Suchi,
Hold for line.
very expressive.
Hold for line. Yeah, gotta go for weight. Gotta go for weight. Line's good. Hard for weight.
That's a long way out. It's,
Hard. Hard.
for weight is difficult in this, so they're just going to play a guard here. Boy, it moves, though, nicely.
It sure does. It's finishing really well.
Tap's good. Straight tap. Same ice as you, I think. Okay. Good.
So Ron Gauthier's going to tap that red rock of his.
Whoa.
Even
So
if he
just,
doesn't get a shot, hold Lukowich down to one.
Looks like he wants to raise this up.
She's just quiet out here, and there's only one game
into this area here.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
First rock on the first end for Ron Gauthier.
Yeah, line. Yeah, hard line. Hard. Hard.
Working hard to get it by the guard.
Hard. 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 Just to the forefront. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Just get it by.
But he's lost the angle.
All right.
Well, it's not all that bad in a way because he's sort of blocking the path off in a way, but I think
Jump right out of my hand. That's gonna jump right out of my hand unless I started.
Well, let's see if we can tell. One of the things that he said was that it jumped out of his hand. Let's watch him throw the rock.
Weight wasn't bad. It would have been nice.
well, the release is good.
At least pretty clean. So it may have fooled them a little bit early, or it picked something. You can see it moved right away, obviously, or they could see that it was going. Not even a question of the whoa right off.
No doubt about him yelling for the sweeping on that one.
Yeah, just back 4 foot back, 8 foot weight.
What they've decided to do is just to play the tap on that. They're worried about throwing a lot of weight in the first end.
Okay, back 8 foot, yes, yes. Oh, it's gonna be hard to be short on this shot. A little less.
So they just, actually, they want to tap this rock back into the back 8 foot.
A little faster than it has been, or about the same? Same? Okay.
Just getting a confirmation on the ice from the front end.
I really like Mark Lukowich's demeanor. He's very confident. He doesn't have unnecessary words, but he talks to his team. It's really nice to listen to.
Now he has to get by that guard.
How's the line? Well, if you can. Whoa. Go then. Well, if you can.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hard on that one, Fitch. Hard on that one. Hard on that one. Hard on that one. Hard. All the way, all the way, all the way.
Yeah, they should have kept going on it because he's just a little light for line 2 there. Looks like Ron's second shot.
Yeah, he'll go over.
This way too.
2/3, eh?
Yeah,
But here now,
2/3 is good.
Yeah. 3/4 is probably a jam, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, just normal.
It's close. I don't know. I might give it to yellow at this point.
I think it's red, Joe, is in terms of second shot, but what Mark has done by not tapping it back far enough is that Ron can for sure see this one. He's talking about playing the double to lie 3.
Yeah.
I hit it really fast.
Yeah.
there is a possibility of a jam, but the double is there. If he gets about, a quarter to a half of the top rock.
Well, yeah.
Big shot in the first end.
Yeah. Whoa. Hard. 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 Hard.
Got 1, got 2. This is one of his own, but he makes the double and lies 2.
Great shot.
And now the pressure is on Mark Lukowich.
Oh, he's got to make sure of his straight draw weight.
This curl's just a little bit too much for the perfect double to lie 3 for Ron. They're really working hard on it, and you can see as it starts to move that he hits this one just a little thicker than he wanted to. Otherwise, it pops across the top and lies 3. But still, objective completed. Makes a good shot in the first end and forces Mark Lukowich to relinquish last rock.
Actually, that was a good way of doing it in a way. If he hits a little less of it, that other one, the one yellow, would have jammed back on his other red, so it may have still stayed shot, you know. So actually, that's as good a way of doing it as possible.
Final rock of this first end, and Mark Lukowich needs a good piece of the 4.
Just T-line. Line's good. Line's good. Line's good.
Make sure.
Just cleaning it, probably close.
And it will be a steal of 1 for Ron Gauthier in this first end. Did they oversweep it? We'll talk about it during the break.
The Safeway Select is brought to you in part by Chicken Chef Family Restaurants. Real quality, real value, real selection. Made in Manitoba. And by Lotto Super 7. What's your dream?
Now you can spend less time copying and more time doing business, thanks to a connected digital office.
Yes, Icon.
Finally, an efficient copy center that can actually make a CFO happy. Yes, Icon. Imagine printing 1,500 bound manuals in 10 different cities at the last minute.
Yes, Icon.
When it comes to communicating any kind of business information, imagine what Icon can do for you.
In April 2003, they will travel across the globe to the center of the curling universe to renew an annual rivalry known as the Ford World Curling Championships.
Can you hear it? Can you feel it coming on? A spirit touching us all. Together in Winnipeg. This is where the world is one.
Manitoba's Dave Hamlin claimed the 2002 Canadian Junior Men's Curling title with a 5-4 victory over Martin Crate of Quebec. It was the 6th Canadian Junior title for Manitoba and the first since Chris Galbraith won back in 1995. Hamlin, who finished second in the round robin with a 9-3 record, curled an impressive 88% in the championship final. Ross Dirksen at third, Dave's brother Kevin Hamlin at second, and Ross McCannell at lead. The Manitoba foursome now moves on to represent Canada at the World Junior Championships in Kelowna, BC.
Champions is brought to you by Robbins Donuts and Deli. You always get a break at Robbins.
Some fans looking on Shannon and Cheryl, the girl with the ponytail and the longer hair, Ronnie's two sisters, great players in their own right in the junior ranks. And one of the snowbirds you talked about, Joe, earlier, Ron's father, Rennie, and wife, Val, down in Westlaco, Texas, looking on this morning. And I'm sure cheering very loud.
So we've played two rocks here in this second end. Ron Gauthier put his in the top of the 8-foot. And Mark Lukowich has the corner guard put up.
You know, we saw in the last last end. Mark Lukowich gave up a steal of 1, where I think that Mark's confidence won't be shaken at all, is that he knows he threw the rock well, he had the right ice, he absolutely had the right weight. Just a little bit of a sweeping error, and that's just those emotions that come to play for first-time provincial finalists.
Line's real good.
And I don't think that's going to shatter them too much. That's 1 point in a 10-end game. They'll just go on from there.
Well, I totally agree. As a matter of fact, I know this sounds stupid, but I don't even think they made a sweeping error, because in the first end, if you do not, the worst thing that could happen is he pulls up light.
Sure.
The sweepers have to be aggressive in the first part of the game, and if they had have underswept it or not swept it at all and pulled up light, that would have been an error. But you got to keep on them at the first, and it just sort of floated a bit at the end, and I think it just got away from them. But I don't even think that was basically an error. But I agree, it won't destroy their confidence.
Yes, hard.
Spoken like a true front-end man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Bit of a miscue. That's not what you want to do whenever you're playing with the guards. At a minimum, you want to make sure that it's removed from play at the end of it.
Bump it a bit.
Hits it, just misses the back one, leaves the guard.
So 2 yellow rocks out in front. And Ron Gauthier still has 1 in the rings. Just biting the top 4. Just off the center line.
Line's good.
Weight's good. Weight's there.
Okay.
Weight's there.
Gotta wait. Gotta wait.
Weight's pretty good.
Gotta wait.
Dave Soteric also competing in the select previous years, 99 with Pat Spiring and 98 with Larry Knowles.
Right to it. No.
Whoa. Yeah, now, bring it.
Boy.
Excellent shot from Dave Soteric.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Talking to Dave last night, he was wondering about whether he should shave or, like hockey players, have their playoff beard.
Looks a little bit confused. You can see it going by the guard. He's thinking we got lots of room, lots of room.
Good shot.
Roll it. Change.
Very emotional player.
Well, there's a few of them out in the ice here today, really, yeah.
That's a good thing. It's nice to see for the sport.
Oh, you got to be emotional, but you got to keep them under control. That's the only problem. There's a fine line in there, and it varies from individual to individual.
How are you? I don't mean personally today. I mean, how were you in the big games?
Well,
how did you keep your emotions under control? Or did you?
No, it's just a matter of trying to focus, that's all. No.
You're missing the point.
I'm very feisty.
He was a hothead.
Very feisty, yeah, I was a hothead. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
Bring it.
Shit. But it's so long ago, I've forgotten.
He sounds like a broken record.
That's that came out in yesterday's game. That's the legendary, I don't know, ripple call, maybe.
Here's how Mark Lukowich got here to this morning's B-side final. They're all wins.
And look at the scores. Those are all tight games. What that says is that this team is used to pressure. They didn't walk over the field. I think that's a really good preparation for the final. They are used to playing in really, really tight games. And so this game is just going to be more of the same.
Now there is a really great shot, because he couldn't afford to get too little of that and hit and roll into the open by sort of leaning up against it right now. It gives him an opportunity to use it later. It's a great shot by Dave Elias. It's got some problems for Ronnie.
It's T-line.
Okay. Yeah.
So the first of the third rocks. This is Chris Fulcher.
Weight's good. Line looks good. Gotta wait. Whoa, if you can.
Room. Come now.
Yep. Hard. Hurry.
Whoa.
Hurry.
They just wanted to move it far enough that they could make a play on it, and that Lukowich couldn't drive it on the nose and remove the red stone.
Yeah, he's about 6 feet light on that one.
Yeah,
he needed a lot, because you got to move that. He wanted to move that back to the tee line.
And there you see the road to the B-side final for Ron Gauthier, and that only loss to James Kirkness. That was in the first round of the championship round. Chris Suchi, third man for Mark Lukowich.
No. Whoa! Here she comes.
No, no.
Hard digger. Hard digger. Hard digger.
Just enough weight, I believe, on that one. It's a nice
Looks
shot.
good enough for
yeah, actually, yeah.
fourth shot, I think.
It's hard to
We're
tell.
fourth.
Well, there you go.
There's confirmation.
Same shot, or you want to play this?
We roll behind it.
Getting quite complicated now.
Yeah, I think we hit and roll. Mine's
Play the hit
pretty
and roll?
easy here, eh? I've got to play the same shot.
I think same shot, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what they want to do is just hit this one back under the red, move the red back into the back forefoot this time.
We're not bumping this time, though, eh? Just freezing?
No, well, if you bump it a bit, it's fine, but T-line weight, same weight.
We bump it, it's fine.
Okay, now they're just coming down to it. The original call was to raise it back into the forefoot.
A little bit of room.
Two choices there. One, this is definitely the more aggressive. Another call that's not a bad call would be to play the hit and roll off the third shot stone, roll behind those two and lie shot. The risk is with this is if you miss it, you set up the potential for three.
Line's not bad. Oh, oh, not too far.
Which is what you've done.
Okay, Foles. Break. It's not bad. It locked on it, but not.
What are you thinking? Pardon me? Get shot rock. Even if we just come into this rock, it's not the worst.
Push that three onto the open.
What nose hit?
I don't know if there's a nose there. Nose hit do anything for us?
Pardon me?
Nose hit do anything for us?
I don't think so.
You can lose both yellows.
A nose hit's too risky because then we might not even get the rock doing anything. A nose hit on 6.
You hit the T's.
Yeah.
Aren't both red and white. This one might stick that way, rub on this and stay.
It is going to go into the 5 and stay.
And stay?
And then we'll have another rock up there.
Be up here. This goes to here, though.
That sounds pretty good.
This goes to here.
No sit. Normal weight.
Normal?
Yeah.
Do they also not have the
There's
potential of the hit
buried,
and roll off the yellow and the 12-foot?
They do if they wanted to play that, but
they're yellow.
They're yellow, Joe, and they want to.
Sorry.
I mean, on the last rock, if it's the only way to get to the forefoot, they might do it. But
They
right
got to
now,
be, they got to be careful because by hitting this one,
Are you okay with that, Dave?
this could move the red one back into here,
Normal?
depending on the
Normal,
angle they
Digger?
hit it.
Normal.
It is early in the morning. And I'm colorblind.
Key shots already this end. They're really going after it.
Well, they're worried about the nose hit. If they could get by the guard in front.
Whoa!
Yep! Yep! Yep!
Well, that didn't work at all. You see that? This was the key shot here. Moving that. It does spread them out a bit at least, but
Wasn't there?
It's not.
It is good as we could.
Yeah, maybe we can take that or we take the. If we hit, I guess if we hit, he's drawn. Then we'd have to tap. It's risky, but maybe we get there first, yeah.
Okay.
Even if we just get to here, it's a real good shot.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, I was giving Grant and Dave here, and they were drawing over center.
Okay.
I need a little more.
The shot that they don't like is that Yellowstone at the top of the house that was just thrown there by Chris Suchi.
Okay, he's looking at just coming in here, drawing into this area if he can.
Don't see a whole lot else.
We're worried about this one a little bit, but
yeah,
you can't cover them both. But I think
Gotta get by the yellow for sure.
when you're looking at Lukowich,
So we gotta get by the yellow for sure.
Yeah.
What do we think of this?
All right.
I like that better.
Okay.
So they've changed the call now, and they're going to play
Just normal, right?
the hit and roll.
All right.
Now, if we can do a curling teaching lesson here, what I would say is I don't have a problem with the call, but what Ron Gauthier should do is get up and come back down and put the broom down for the ice so that he's looked at it from this perspective. There's not a problem with changing the call. They started to look at the hole. Was it big enough? Changing the call from the hack without coming down is not a good idea. And not
well,
a
you're
great
right,
result.
because he needed to hit on the high side
Sure
of the
did.
rock, and he missed it that way.
Still no good.
Yeah, it is interesting they did make the call there. There were a lot of options, obviously, but that gets a little complicated. Now we're looking at for Mark Lukowich, they're just simply trying to hit this rock and roll in behind the cover here.
Normal weight, hit and roll. Is that too much? Should curl, yeah. For normal weight, should be excellent.
Great positive thinking in the hack.
Easy, easy. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Harder. Hard. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Oh, great shot.
Nice shot.
Option.
It was obvious.
Wow, the option.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Play that all the time.
But you know, that was a great call. You know, they weren't sure how it was going to come in there, obviously, but actually it turns out to be a better shot. Bit of luck.
You could see it really starting to curl, so a great heads-up call by both Mark and Chris to get right off of it. If we're not going to roll in, there's the option here of playing the double, which is exactly what he does, and he lies too.
Boy, did that move, though. Near the end,
Sure
they're coming
did.
past at the hog line there. They just took off.
No. It's got this then.
That's third shot already.
Yeah. No. No, play this.
There's no jam with that one. Same difference. Got to make a roll either way.
Ronnie doesn't like what Chris is calling. You better just say, come back down, take a look at it, maybe.
Yeah, what about that?
Well, you were worried about the guard last
second.
time.
I think we play this, Ronnie. Maybe just.
I don't like that shot.
Okay. You want to play this?
You should come
Is that a
down,
little more?
call the ice.
Is that a little more?
Is it? Yeah, it's a hair more.
The reason he doesn't like that shot, Don, is because he drives it straight back if he doesn't
Onto
hit it
that,
right.
the
That
jam.
red stone back there is third shot. What he's saying is he needs a roll either way, so he's going to play the safer side.
Three here. Either way, we're playing to make a roll. Got to make one. That's right. Made a nice shot.
Final rock of the second end for Ron Gauthier.
Yeah.
Lukowich with the hammer.
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Looking for the hit and roll. And now
Great shot.
Gauthier lies one.
Super shot.
Oh, we're going back. There's no doubt. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Cross normal weight. Cross it here. Normal weight. Is that? Yeah.
Good shot.
He's looking at the potential double for three here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll worry about this one, I think.
I'm not really throwing enough weight for that.
Drives it back. If he gets fortunate, it squirts across the top straight through, Don. They've looked at option B if it happens.
Normal,
Straight
yep.
back, maybe picks that other one out for three.
That should be excellent.
Tough shot.
Very much.
Priorities, too.
That's too much. That should be very close.
Anything on the nose or slightly inside, he's got it. At least is 2.
This is for 2 in the lead.
Whoa! 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 Hard! Whoa!
They're close when they're yelling like this.
Nice shot.
So Mark Lukowich answers back in the second end, picks up 2, and takes the lead in this B-side final over Ron Gauthier, 2-1. Back to Neepawa after this.
On February 23rd, a whole new galaxy of stars will appear in Brandon, and prime viewing locations are going fast. Scott Tournament of Hearts single-day passes are just $30, or pick up a voucher at Safeway and redeem it only at Ticketmaster in Brandon for an $8 saving. And remember, your ticket also gives you free admission to the renowned Heartstop Lounge. For non-stop fun, don't miss the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Where stars are born today.
In skating, precision counts. With every movement, with every stroke, spin, and jump, our young Manitoba skaters strive for perfection. At Manitoba Blue Cross, we design healthcare plans with the same precision, striving for perfection. We encourage and support excellence and applaud its pursuit in all arenas of life. Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring.
The Safeway Select Men's Provincial Curling Championship is brought to you in part by Granny's Poultry, Manitoba-grown quality and freshness, and by Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring.
Where can you find maximum value and great taste?
Sweet! Sweet!
With over 30 Manitoba locations in towns and cities large and small.
Hurry! Hurry hard!
Where you're treated just like family and made to feel at home.
Hurry! Hurry! Yep!
Chicken Chef, serving up fresh, wholesome meals that always hit the spot.
Come on in, the Chicken Chef. We're cooking up something good for you.
Promotional considerations provided by Hertz Equipment Rentals, located at 1600 Gamble Place in Winnipeg.
And a couple of interesting ends so far in this B-side final. A steal of 1 for Ron Gauthier in the first, and Mark Lukowich with the raised takeout for 2 in the second.
Mark made 2 really good shots in that end. He made that great double on his first one and then followed that with the straight back for 2. Some excellent shot making.
Well, actually, on both sides, actually, Ron made a heck of a good shot to hit and roll in there, too. Otherwise, he was in deep trouble in that. So, very, very difficult end for both of them, but excellent shot making.
Yep.
Mark Lukowich sticking with his game plan, which is that when he does not have last rock, we have seen him call the rock consistently into the house.
Just cleaning.
Ron with his game plan, which is to throw the corner guards to try to generate offense.
Yeah, halfway or more. It's so swingy.
Hi, I'm Shane Kilgallen. I'm from Winnipeg. I'm a software consultant with Online Business Systems.
Looks good.
Wine's good.
Found that on the swinging ice, Kathy, very difficult to put on perfect guards.
It is.
Tight as possible.
It is indeed. It makes it really tricky because if you take enough ice that you would with the draw, sometimes it hangs out and other times it'll just over curl. But Shane not having any difficulty. He was a little bit open.
Hi, I'm Grant Misselbacher. I live in Winnipeg. I farm and I also own GFN golf cart rentals.
Like half? Yeah.
Okay.
Grant and Ron have played together for 16 years. Same with second Dave Sateric.
allowing Grant to call his own shots on this. Oh, I
Pretty
agree
much,
with-
yeah.
no,
He's
I
also
agree with
bigger.
it. Well, yeah, I agree with this in a way. You know, he just what do you feel better at doing on this? Obviously, Grant knows the game as well as anybody, so let's him call it.
Hooray! Hard! Hard! Roll it, Chris. Yeah. Take the roll, take the roll, take the roll. Right over, right over, right over. Okay, that's good. Nice brick.
Hi, I'm Dave Elias. I'm from Winnipeg, and I'm currently a student.
And that really is Dave's personality. He's a great guy. Wife Susan, baby Mackenzie, part of his family. He was talking to Ron last night. The last time that either of these teams got here, Dave was in fact the second for Ron Gauthier in 1997 when they made it to the final. Had a nice conversation last night and said somebody's finally going to get to go, and isn't that the truth?
Hard! Hard! Hard, 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 hard.
Perfect
That's a
guard.
good guard.
Hi, I'm Dave Soteric. I live in Winnipeg, and I work for Asante Asset Management.
Wife Paula has been here all week. Baby Bryn and Reed watch from home.
Straight
Tries
back.
it straight back, but pushes it behind the corner guards. At least gets it off the forefoot, which was one of the objectives.
You're right. It still puts him in, well, a little bit open on the far side there. Difficult shot, but you're right. It didn't get it out of the house, moved in behind the guards partially.
More critically, what he did is essentially leave a center guard, which is to the advantage of the Lukowich team.
Lukowich asking Dave Elias
Line's
to
good! Gotta go!
come in behind that guard.
Gotta go!
Lukowich coming up to help in the sweeping.
Go, go, go! Well, we can.
Well, it's not moving that much. Almost like a dead handle there. Not quite, but
Not very much rotation.
No, exactly, because it had. Didn't
Otherwise,
move.
it varies for
Yeah,
sure.
From the hog line in, didn't move tall hardly.
Bump and roll to tall
How
foot.
much you got, Dave?
It's enough in behind that they can't hit and roll in behind the guard, obviously.
Just got to play this.
I guess they feel if they try to hit at it, he's got to roll it to the outside and then leave Mark a chance to come in behind again. So you might as well go for it now.
We talked about the ice at the top of the show. This is the 5th consecutive day that these teams have played on this ice. And when you play on ice conditions that are this good, made by such great ice makers as we have in this province, Hans Withrick, Eric Monford, and their crew, one of the things that you can take to the bank is that it's going to be consistent in terms of weight, in terms of all of those things. So you tend to play shots like this that you wouldn't necessarily play in, say, a curling club.
But look at that finish. He was 3 feet.
At least.
Coming over the hog line, 3 feet over that center line, pass on the right of the center line.
Okay.
Look at how it swoops in there. A little tighter, and that would have easily got him behind.
Because we can go with hack to do this.
Where is that? Is that right?
Like this better?
Watch this rock where it is. He's almost on the outside guards, and watch it just hook to the left. He's going to be half buried behind that guard before this rock
There it
stops.
goes. Look at it, like almost falling off a cliff.
Phenomenal.
It's going to rack that much. Hack weight, though?
Mark Lukowich asking third Chris Suchi to play the hit and roll to lie 3.
Chris's wife, Kristen, here and enjoying a great week.
Hard! Go! Go hard!
Right on it, right out of his hand.
Real hard! Real hard!
This is that in-between weight we talked about that's really hard to stay straight.
On the guard.
Yeah, a little tight when it let it go. There's no doubt about it.
So now an opportunity for Ron Gauthier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also playing the hit and roll.
Playing the hit and roll because it's very difficult to play the draw. The one good thing out of Chris's shot is that he left his shooter very, very tight to the house in front of the 4-foot.
Playing lots of weight.
Right over to
Needs to roll it, needs to be second. Nice shot.
Gauthier lies 2.
Hi, I'm Chris Succi. I'm from Winnipeg, and I'm a landscaper with Lawn Clinic Limited.
He's also co-owner of that company.
Well, they have a nice opportunity to hit and roll in behind the guards here.
They have a great opportunity. There's a lot of frustration on Chris's face after his first one, but can certainly redeem himself here by rolling behind his own guard.
Needs the roll. Not enough.
I got it.
Hi, my name is Chris Fulsher. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for the Rural Municipality of Headingley, and I live in Stonewall, Manitoba.
Chris has 4 daughters, Natalie, Danielle, Brooke, and Amy. Wife Brenda's here.
Okay, stay close.
Really want to roll this one away from this pile. Get it away from that guard.
Okay. Shot.
Not enough, and it leaves the possibility for Lukowich now to try the hit and roll.
This might be the easiest. Just come into it.
But we have to hit it here, though.
We have to make up our mind, though. Are we gonna?
Yeah, we have to hit it here if you want to do that.
Are we playing the roll, or are we gonna? We're probably better off just going for the roll because we'll.
I think so.
More control lead.
More control.
Just outside center. Okay.
Okay.
How's that look? That should be very close.
Okay.
Now, Kathy, how far does he want to roll here? Over to the red rock or behind his yellow guard in front?
Just the roll.
He's actually got the luxury of either works really well. If that guard was a Gauthier team guard, he'd be more worried about it, but he'd love to roll, you know, far over. But even if he's right behind his own, if he's on an angle, Joe, not perfectly behind it, but a little bit even half exposed, any run back that Ron would make would drive it directly on his own. So the key is not where he rolls to, but the fact that he does.
First rock of the third end for Mark Lukowich.
Yes! Hard! 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 Harder! 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 Go! Go hard! Go hard! Go hard!
Oh, boy.
Not quite as much as he wanted to, but still enough in behind it could cause some problems for Ron, but I think it still shows a little bit.
I think it's about a half exposed.
How much you got, Dave?
Gotta be half there.
Okay, yours carved in a little bit,
Yeah,
eh, Fosh?
mine's going.
I gave you about 4 inches. I would say this would be pretty close. Yeah?
I think so.
Just bump it.
Yeah.
It's there. He's got about half of it to shoot at, but the only problem is he's got to worry about a jam over into this. Yeah, you can see the possibility of a jam if he doesn't get it quite right.
There's a scratch line there, guys.
Or even just a thin tick. If he just rubs it, he's really putting it behind farther.
Tough shot.
Yep. Yep.
Ron Gauthier with the advantage of last rock here in the third end.
Watch the roll, baby.
Nice shot.
All right.
Gets rid of it.
But the shooter rolls out. Gauthier still lies 1.
Those are the shots that you have to anticipate, and they did, and then it just didn't finish quite as much, but pretty tough shot.
No, that's an excellent shot under the circumstance. He didn't jam it. He didn't hit it too thin.
Yeah, that'd be good. What do you think for the ice?
Lukowich looking at the draw.
Well, it's coming up the center, so you know. I think this should be very close.
As long as we're by it.
Well, I think this should be more than enough.
Make him shoot it.
Yeah. You think that's more than enough? I think that's more than enough.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mark Lukowich from Winnipeg, and I'm employed with the City of Winnipeg.
And he and his wife, Jennifer, are expecting their first child this July. You heard them say, let's make him shoot at it. There's still a little uncertain, a little tentative about exactly what the ice will do. Like I say, the temperature is continuing to change. More and more people are filtering into this building with every rock that's thrown. And so sometimes what that does for the ice makers and trying to keep the conditions the same as it's a little bit straighter. They want to make sure they get by.
You hear Chris Succi saying you're tight for line.
Hard for line. How's the weight? Go! Go hard for line! Hard for line!
Got to get it by the guard.
Hard for line! Keep it going! Keep it going hard!
Now they're going to bury it.
Nice shot. Put it back pretty much where it was the first time.
Yeah, maybe just about a fraction of an inch better in behind the guard, but just that. But Ronnie's thrown that shot down there before. The difficulty for Ron here is to be able to roll without rolling out for two. He wants to be able to get to two. It's a little more difficult shot to be able to stick around for his two.
Hi, I'm Ron Gauthier. I live in Lorette, Manitoba, and I work for the Folk Arts Council of Winnipeg, Inc.
Final rock of the third end, and Gauthier looking to remove Lukowich's yellow rock and have the shooter remain anywhere in the 8 foot.
They've thrown this before. They know the same spot. They're waiting a little bit this time, really wanting to stick around.
Hasn't got enough of it, I don't think. He's just going to roll out. Good shot.
Yes, he will.
So it'll only be one for Ron Gauthier here in the third end, and this B-side final between Gauthier and Lukowich is tied at 2.
Safeway Select Player Profiles are brought to you by Pepsi Cola, the joy of Pepsi.
When it comes to farm fresh ideas, Granny's knows best. From our family to your family. Granny's Manitoba grown quality chicken and turkey.
Farm fresh taste and country goodness, Granny's.
There's a little bit of Italy in our new taste menu at McDonald's. Introducing the Italian Chicken McGrill, all white meat seasoned chicken breast topped with marinara sauce and 2 slices of processed mozzarella cheese. And the Italian crispy chicken sandwich, all white meat crispy seasoned chicken also topped with marinara sauce and 2 slices of processed mozzarella cheese. Hurry in and enjoy the taste of Italy.
There's a little McDonald's in everyone.
The Safeway Select Men's Provincial Curling Championship is brought to you in part by Canada Safeway. Select premium quality.
Every month, someone in the West becomes a lottery millionaire, with the exception of December, when 11 Westerners became lottery millionaires. You don't know how lucky you are. Play the lottery.
When it comes to farm fresh ideas, Granny's knows best. From our family to your family. Granny's Manitoba grown quality chicken and turkey.
Farm fresh taste and country goodness, Granny's.
In the 8th end of the 2001 Safeway Select Final, Kerry Burtnick leads Dale Duguid 7-6. Burtnick has 4 red rocks in the rings, but Duguid has the hammer, and he lies 1 yellow rock on the button, well guarded. With his final stone, Kerry decides to try to just skinny the guard and make a delicate little tap back. No one executes these shots better than the 1995 world champion, and Burtnick plays this one absolutely perfect. With tremendous brushing from the front end of Keith Fenton and Rob Meakin, they manage to just slip past the guard and nudge the yellow Duguid rock to the back of the house to lie 3.
Under Pressure is brought to you by Pepsi Cola, the joy of Pepsi.
And there you see the line score of this B-side final. Steal of 1 for Ron Gauthier in the first end. Lukowich answering back in the second with a pair, and Ron Gauthier tying things up in the third.
It's been a great game in terms of rocks and positioning, and to really notice the difference of the final that we saw last year. It's been a great game, but the difference was those teams that we saw last year are so used to that pressure, having been in those situations many times. Neither of these teams have that, and it is a huge difference, let me tell you.
Mind you, you're right. Maybe the Burtnicks and the Duguids have more experience at this level, but they're putting on a heck of a show here today. This is a fabulous game.
Talk about pressure. Sitting next to me is Zyvan Safer, who is responsible for the 2003 World Curling Championships that are going to be held in Winnipeg. That is pressure, isn't it?
Well, we're starting to feel a little bit now that the tickets began selling on Friday, Joe, so I guess it's going to happen.
You got
now,
no
with
choice.
that ringing endorsement, Ivan, get a little pumped out here. Should be a great event, though, if 1991 has anything to do with it.
Well, I think we certainly brought the world stage to a different level with the championships in '91, and we hope to continue and escalate it even higher in 2003.
And how do you plan on doing that? How can you make yourself better?
Fine.
Well, lots of people in the city, in the stands, big corporate sponsorships that are out there today, hopefully for us, and just an overall atmosphere. Curling in Western Canada, Manitoba, Brandon area, certainly been very supportive of these events in the past, and
That back 8 foot's good.
we're going to do a good show. We know that.
It's pretty good. It's going to curl.
Where will the show be, Ivan?
Show's going to be in the Winnipeg Arena, April 5th to 13th. And if any indications are from the early start of ticket sales, we went on sale to the public on Friday, and as of yesterday afternoon, we're just about 289 tickets sold, packages already. So that's a great start for the first weekend, I'll say. So people are excited about it, and lots of calls from people for volunteering. A couple of weeks ago, we were looking for 700-800 volunteers, and I dare say we're probably halfway there already in the last 2 weeks too. So,
well, let's talk about that. If people do want to volunteer, do they just call in and say, I'd like to volunteer, or can they say, I'd like to volunteer and here's the kinds of things I'd like to do? How does that happen?
well, we've progressed to the new age. We have a website. It's wcc2003.ca. Our application forms are right on the web, or they could get in touch with our office at 927 Curl in Winnipeg. And we'd mail them out if they don't have access to the internet. And
No sale, and this is probably the
there's
best
lots
for
of
now.
positions available, and we're looking forward to lots of people getting behind us and supporting us with their time.
Saw Dave sort of hydroplane a little bit there, where he comes out not dead square and his foot starts to hook around. What that will do is that will impact the path that the rock takes, getting it moving a little bit more.
Okay.
Situation in the house. Lukowich lying 2.
You would have preferred to just stay right where he was.
Draw around it.
Ron Gauthier taking a long look.
See any of this 3?
Don't adjust your sets. There was nothing wrong with that. There was just no motion.
Oh, Kathy, don't leave yourself open like that.
Oh, I hit the back one right now.
What are we lying here? Second?
Yeah. No.
Third.
Third.
You want to hit the back
decision made from the other end. Let's hit the back one.
We know that we talked a lot to Hans about this great ice that he puts in here, Zyvan. As the committee that's hosting, how does a world event work? Do you pick who the ice makers will be? Is that something that the World Committee does?
Well, we'll certainly, Kathy, have a say in who the ice maker will be in the way of a recommendation to the World Curling Federation. But Hans has done an awful lot of work both nationally and internationally already, so I don't think we're going to have a problem getting our local man doing the ice at the Winnipeg Arena come next April.
Oh, that's great to hear from both the curlers' perspective as well as the fans, because it certainly has a huge factor.
Oh yeah, it makes a much better show when they got good ice like we've seen here.
Here, buddy?
Yeah. Zyvan, I'd be remiss if not asking you, as the former president of the Canadian Curling Association, about the dispute going on right now with the Grand Slam of Curling and the CCA. Your thoughts as the former president?
You know, I never seem to be able to avoid that, you know.
I had
Funny you should ask. Yeah. Well, I think that progress is being made. I don't think that, and even though I'm wearing the headset now sitting beside you, but I don't think these things get resolved necessarily in the print and on the television sets. But I see that I see both sides of the ledger, and I think the mark is coming closer together, and with a couple of new events on the horizon with the Continental Cup and the Canada Cup, it's definitely strides in the right direction. I know these things were in the works when I was still involved with CCA, not that I'm looking to take much of the credit for that, but these things don't happen overnight, and I think that the biggest differences really are that the curlers maybe are just a little anxious that these things aren't happening as quickly as they'd like, but they are happening and they will happen. And I think we'll see people back in the fold hopefully next season.
Great brushing by the front end here of Dave Soteric and Grant Misselbacker, trying to get this stone around the three that are lined up straight. You can see the line is absolutely perfect. They just couldn't take it quite far enough, but causes a problem for the Lukowich team.
The movement right at the end there.
If we're going to throw half weight, we're not going to roll very far. Okay, throw but if we roll to here, that's okay. Okay, this roll's okay. Wide open. Yep. No light hit either. How much is that for? Hack.
Deciding to play hack, the Lukowich team needs to make a play on that stone. Just the question of are they throwing hack or bumper, would love to stick there.
Easy. Hard! Yep! Hard! Yep! Hard! Hard!
Oh, this rock is really curling.
Hard! Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nice sweeping.
Well, that's not a bad shot. It does leave the double situation here. That's Ron just indicated.
Great brushing back-to-backs by the front ends. Watch how close he gets by there. Just sticked it. If he rolls a little bit further away,
half makes it.
Makes the double a little tough.
As thin as half will make it. 2/3 perfect.
Okay.
Play normal.
Okay. I guess the only danger really is he gets it too thin, just slices it, goes off his own a bit, but double's not that difficult here for him.
It's the first chance he's had to get rid of that stone, and so they have to try to take advantage of that.
Oh, close.
Yep! Hurry! Hurry on!
Oh!
Hurry!
Great shot.
Great shot. Chris was yelling, whoa. In this case, advantage goes to the little Frenchman. Chris maybe didn't see the angle enough and was worried about chipping their own out, but you can see where they make contact. Watch when this stone hits the top yellow one. Gets it perfect. And rolls to the side to lie two.
Yep, hard!
So Ivan, in a place like Manitoba, in a city like Winnipeg that's hosted a Worlds before, and you've had the corporate sponsorship before, does it make it easier for you guys to do your job, or is this 10 years, 12 years later, a whole new ballgame?
Well, it certainly helps. The track record is there. There's no question that we've had the support before, and but the bar keeps getting higher. You know, you always want to do better than you've done before, and we're no different as a committee this time around than they were back in 91 or 98 at the Labatt Brier. So I guess the measures is within ourselves, and I've been trying to keep an even keel. You began this by saying that I wasn't overly enthusiastic. That's I'm trying to keep, you know, even keeled about this, not to be overly excited or rambunctious about it, but
as long as we get to the center line.
Our expectations are about a 70 to 75% fill of the Winnipeg Arena, so I think that's attainable. I'd be happier if it was more, but we're going to give it our best shot, Gauthier.
I know that you'll do a great job, and from having had the chance to play in a Worlds both overseas as well as Canada, know from talking to the teams that they just want to come to play in this country. They want to play back in the Winnipeg Arena, where there is a house full of fans who get excited about shots, who cheer great shots, and are very silent on misses.
Yeah, that's true. And, you know, in speaking with the president of the current president of the World Curling Federation, Roy Sinclair. Come on, Hart! Just let this rock finish. They're very supportive administratively, too. I mean, Roy himself has curled many times in Winnipeg back in different events, and even participated in the 78 Worlds here. Although be it as a spare, but he did get on the ice in the Worlds in 78 in Winnipeg.
Is there room to make the inside roll?
A lot of support internationally. We've heard already.
Right here.
I think the market that we have to get to really make this truly the event that we're hoping for is to get some synergy off of the Bismarck Worlds this year. That's an untapped market, and in North Dakota, and if they do a bang-up job come this April, I think we'll be the beneficiaries next year.
Well, Ivan, thank you very much for joining us and telling us about the 2003 Worlds.
But I can't.
Thank you very much.
You only got
I don't think there's enough air.
You only got an inch and a half
to get past the top one.
It's an interesting situation now. A sensational shot by Chris Sushi to come in here, but Ronnie's come back with a nice draw here. Just a little concern here. You can hear them talking.
So you like to freeze?
Well, it's got to tap.
It's got to be perfect.
What do you like?
Let's make this hack. Yeah.
Guard's no good?
No, I don't like the guard.
Okay.
We can do something really good here.
And she's going, eh? We got to get by that stick in the yellow.
With hack weight, this will be very close.
Okay.
Just want to get in here, but he's got to roll in a little bit inside, because he doesn't want to give Ron a chance to do a double split like Chris Fulcher did on that. They got to get on the inside of this, and he can't afford to obviously get outside because he jams it back on his own. Very difficult shot for him.
But what a great call, Don, in terms of what we heard, the thought process going through Mark Lukowich's head. Chris Sushi says you don't want to throw a guard, eh, because they've got one in there nailed. Mark says very confidently, no, we've got a chance to do great things here. He knows if he gets the inside roll, he's got a great shot for 3.
Exactly.
Whoa. Whoa, then.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's a great shot. He got a lean, but he needed even more of that. He had to really just slice by that top yellow, and now it gives Ron a chance to hit it and make a double on it. So he knows close, but no cigar.
Well, you heard the yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa. That tells you more than anything. They know it's close. You can see that rock start to move. If it curls another 2 rotations, he's got a peach.
See, he did roll. You can see perfect shot there to see that. He rolled, but he had to be really close to that other top yellow one. You can see there's a little bit of separation there. He had to just skin by that top yellow one to make it perfect. So Ron now has a chance for a double. Ron's danger here, the danger here for Ron is to jam.
I was happier without the comment, Mr. Finkbeiner.
Final rock here in number 4 for Ron Gauthier. Lukowich with the hammer.
Hard, 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 right up to it. Yep, hard, hard.
He's got 1, got 2.
Great shot.
And for the second time in this game, Ron Gauthier makes the double.
Not much out of Ron. This was all Chris, seeing this line all the way down, had the guys on it all the way, has to hit this just a little on the outside, does so, picks the other one almost over, curls, catches enough.
Now for Mark, he's got to ignore that and just, there's nothing he can do. He can't make a double off the top. He could double those, the 2 reds, but he'd roll out, so there's no point in doing that. So he's just, he's simply going to draw right over into this area.
And it's a really good call. There's no point playing a fancy double if ultimately the most you can get is 1. Might as well play the simple draw.
Line's good. Put on T-line.
I think it's lots.
Whoa, looks like a ton. T-line.
Lukowich and Suchi thought there was a lot of weight.
Gotta be
Front
T.
end said no.
This is where your
Right on the tee.
sweepers do make the judgment call.
Come on. Right on the tee. Come on. Come on.
No, they're losing this. That was, that's definitely sweeping error.
And let's see if
And
it
that's
picks
a steal
as
of
well.
2 for Ron Gauthier. And yes, let's take another look and see what happened.
What struck me funny is, you know, both Mark and Chris saying that they had lots. Well, that's fine, but it is the sweeper's job. Both Dave and Shane cleaning this rock all the way down. But what surprised me is how hard this rock hooks.
Well, right there. Right
now
there
watch
is where it
this. You
starts.
see the
But
line.
they
At
should
this
have been on
point,
it.
he's on the Safeway S. Now watch this rock literally track sideways and stop. There was no risk of oversweeping this rock, and instead what happens is they give up a big steal.
No, you're right. And I think this is what's been happening in the last few games, too. As they come into the house, they die.
So it's a steal of 2 for Ron Gauthier and a 4-2 lead over Mark Lukowich in the B-side final.
WestJet. We'll see you there.
The Safeway Select Men's Provincial Curling Championship is brought to you in part by Robbins Donuts and Deli. You always get a break at Robbins.
Where can you find maximum value and great taste?
Sweet! Sweet!
With over 30 Manitoba locations in towns and cities large and small,
Hurry! Hurry hard!
where you're treated just like family and made to feel at home.
Hurry! Hard! Yep!
Chicken Chef, serving up fresh, wholesome meals that always hit the spot.
Come on in, the Chicken Chef. We're cooking up something good for you.
WestJet. We'll see you there.
Well, besides Lily's, Neepawa also famous for being the home of Margaret Lawrence. And welcome back, 5th end here in the B-side final between Ron Gauthier and Mark Lukowich. And Kathy, we talked about it in the commercial break about the front end and the back end. And on that last rock by Mark Lukowich, he thought he was heavy. So did third Chris Suchi. The front end thought he had the right weight, but they lifted their brooms because maybe they were second guessing themselves.
It's really tough. For the front ends, their job is obviously on hits to take direction from the back end, but the judgment call on draw weight, regardless of what anybody else is saying, is your own. And so sometimes when you think that someone's let it go and maybe needs sweeping, and you've got stereophonic, you know, heavy, 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 you start to think, okay, maybe fine. This shot, for sure, could have been in this house for shot and a point.
Actually, right just above the hog line, you could see it. And just as they lifted their brooms, then all of a sudden it started to really take off on them. But you're right. It's the job of the sweepers to ignore. On a shot like that, the back end has to call line only. Okay. That's it, not weight.
All right, Grant.
And there, take a look at the front end for the Lukowich team. Shane Kilgallen.
Normal.
Dave Elias.
The big problem there for the Lukowich team is what that does to them emotionally. Like they're riding pretty high. They're quite into the game. They're playing quite well, but that is a classic error. And for their sake, they got to make sure that they just sort of hang in there, play this in rather coolly.
Hard.
The hit and the perfect roll.
That is a great shot.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, that's super shot. If they can come back here with a deuce, then they're fine. They're back in the game. But if they panic a bit and get upset by what happened in the last end, then they could get themselves further in debt.
Great poise shown there by Shane, and coming back after that tough last rock by Mark Lukowich, and making a great hit and roll behind the corner guard.
Ron Gauthier asking Dave Soteric to remove the guard out in front.
So Mark is ignoring this shot rock. He wants to build up a bit here. Wait maybe for Chris Suchi's shot to maybe go after the shot rod and hit and roll, but he'd like to sort of build up something here, protect this, put on a guard.
Well, and if he continues to guard this stone, at one point he's hoping to force the Gauthier team into making a bit of a mistake or a hit and roll out, which would allow him to split the house, slide two.
Finish it up. Hard. Getting tight. Hard.
Well, on the backside, Dave Soteric can see some of that rock in the house, but Ron Gauthier asking him to just remove the guard.
Remember we talked, Kathy, it's very difficult to put perfect guards on in this ice. And
very tough.
Very difficult.
As ironic as it sounds, it's probably easier to hit and roll behind a guard than it is to just place that guard on ice that curls so hard at the end.
Agreed.
Same shot.
Mark Lukowich asking Dave Elias to put on the guard.
Great numbers from Dave.
You can see how far out this is.
Keep it clean.
That's why it's so difficult to judge.
A little higher this time. Hard now, hard.
For a line.
Hard. Hard every inch. Every inch.
Boy, that moves nicely. Not quite the perfect guard, but still pretty good.
Almost right in between the two rocks in the rings.
2/3 probably.
Up to you.
Run it.
Maybe we get it this way, maybe.
Hey? Yeah, cross top, eh?
It's possible, you know, 3/4 might clip it anyways.
Again, some great numbers from Chris. Looking at the options in the house, even though they can see 2/3, because the yellow stone is higher than the red stone, the risk is if you hit about a half, you also wind up either jamming it on your own or picking your own. So playing a little conservative, wanting to run the guard, maybe get the back one on the way through. Chris playing harder for that option than Ron there, obviously, on the calling.
Threw a lot of weight on that. Good shot. Now will Mark hit this or put the guard up? Yep.
Yeah.
There's a time where you have to sort of fold your cards and play the hit and roll. Good call.
Easy.
Good square delivery right behind the rock all the time.
Yep. 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 Hard. 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 Hard.
Gets the nose hit and sets up the double.
You could see when they started to call that he had barely a glimmer of that rock, even with the hit, and I thought it was a great time to start to call it, but it finishes just really, really hard. He thinks he's got the roll all the way. He made that great roll
Same
in
shot,
4 that
same way.
really tried to set that end up. And it just finishes a little too tough. Not a miss by any stretch of the imagination, but not the roll to the wings.
No, they're looking for perfection. They're looking for the hit and roll.
Just Fulcher looking for the double.
There is. The question is.
Yeah, not a problem. Great
Got it.
shot. But that's why Chris Suchi, he knew he had to get that hit and roll away. He needed some separation and didn't quite make it. So it's now back to the drawing board, and now the idea would here be to just play it out, try and get the blank, and go for it in the next end.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, geez.
Hard.
Hurry.
Hard.
Now that rock picked up something and
now
just cut across.
Yeah, that's a horrible break.
When we talk about picking, it's not the kind of picking that you're used to seeing in curling clubs where it picks up a hair or something and goes sideways. What you have is a little bit of frost out here, and you have that built up. Watch the rock go right now. There is nothing that this team could do. They were both sweeping.
But you could see he was easily on the rock. There was not a problem with it 3/4 of the way down.
On ice like this,
I don't mind the bump either.
we've talked about arena ice, and we've talked about what different brooms do, synthetic versus hairs. If you see right now Ron's front end, you've got Grant on the left side of your screen with a hog hair or a horse hair. You've got Dave on the other side with a synthetic. That is the opinion, is the best combination. The other team, the Lukowich team, is throwing 2 synthetics. What happens with synthetics is that they melt down the frost, but if there's some debris on the ice, those brooms will not pick that up, and that's why the combination of the two are perceived to be the best combination of removing everything in the path.
Broom, broom. Yep. For line 2. Okay, line's good. Well then, well then. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, good shot.
Well, that's not what he wanted to do. He'd rather do that straight back, but now he's allowing that hit and roll. Mark didn't hesitate to make the call here. But actually, Joe, a couple of really bad breaks here for the Lukowich team, and the last rock at the last end, and then this one missing like that. So obviously, he'd love to just hit and roll in behind here, partially in behind at least, forcing Ron to make a raise hit on his next shot. But again, here after a couple of bad breaks, they got to maintain their composure and just keep into the game.
A little less. Yep.
See the numbers there for Mark Lukowich, and that the result of misses in the first and in the fourth end, where he gave up steals to Gauthier of 1 and 2 points, respectively.
Boy, is this moving.
Gets
Boy, they're
the
hard to judge. That's the problem here. Like, coming over the hog line, these things look great, but boy, they just take off on them. And that's with a fair amount of weight.
Is there potentially a difference in the way the rocks are reacting, the red stones, different than the yellow stones?
It's really hard to tell. There is a possibility, but we haven't heard any comments from the curlers throughout the week that this was happening. Sometimes that does happen, mismatched rocks.
So a chance for Ron Gauthier to hit and stick in lie 2 and force Mark Lukowich to take 1.
Yeah, he doesn't want to roll out. He wants to hit and stick and force Mark into the one. That's a good shot. Now, does Mark, after what happened in the last end, does he play for the hit in the front one, but he's got to hit and roll, or does he go for the draw? He's sort of thinking about it. The draw is the obvious shot here, but Mark is just, maybe he's thinking about it after what happened the last end.
Yep. Well, you can see he was thinking about it. Chris Succi just put down the broom and pointed to the button and say, just draw it right there.
The draw is the shot. You know, but after what happened to them, a little, well, you can see they're out checking the ice pretty good on that. The trouble is with a hit, he's got to hit and roll. And even at that, there's a chance of it jamming back on the other one and rolling too far and leaving Gauthier a chance to, or a steal of one. So this is a big shot emotionally for them to get them back in the game. Gets his one, he's only one down.
Final rock of the fifth in.
T-line.
Mark Lukowich thought he was heavy. I think the front end agrees.
Oh, they got to watch it because that thing moves.
Now they jump on it.
T-line.
Oh, he looks okay. Nice shot.
Perfect weight, perfect judging by the front end. And Mark Lukowich draws for one here in end number 5. Gives up control of the hammer as Ron Gauthier will take the lead 4-3 as we've reached the midway point of this B-side final.
When it comes to farm fresh ideas, Granny's knows best. From our family to your family. Granny's Manitoba grown quality chicken and turkey.
Farm fresh taste and country goodness, Granny's.
Driving is all about control. Not having maximum control depends on your tires. So how are your tires? Really? So when's the last time you checked? You can't remember. This does nothing for Reg the Rubberman's ego, but Rubber understands. In fact, it's because of your lack of thought about tires that Rubberman is in a constant state of readiness. When a call comes in and there's a tire down, no one reacts faster. Listed in the yellow pages under Mere Tire because there's no listing for super fast, super affordable tire specialist.
In April 2003, they will travel across the globe to the center of the curling universe to renew an annual rivalry known as the Ford World Curling Championships.
Can you hear it? Can you feel it coming on? A spirit touching us all. Together in Winnipeg. This is where the world is one.
In turbulent times, it's good to know you can get ahead by saving on taxes. Save on taxes now by investing in the Crocus Investment Fund, Manitoba's 100% RRSP eligible fund. As Manitoba's largest and most successful venture capital fund, the Crocus Fund has invested $125 million in 60 Manitoba businesses. Find out more about the Crocus Advantage today.
They have to move in perfect unison. And when they do, something incredible happens. There's a bond, a trust that allows them to do together much more than one person can. It's the same between Manitoba Blue Cross and you. We work in unison to offer Manitobans the healthcare coverage that gives you the benefits you need most. Because we believe that good health is based on great teamwork. Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring.
When it comes to farm fresh ideas, Granny's knows best. From our family to your family. Granny's Manitoba grown quality chicken and turkey.
Farm fresh taste and country goodness, Granny's.
The fifth end break is brought to you by Granny's Poultry, Manitoba grown quality and freshness, and by Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring.
Ron Gauthier fighting hard for another shot at the Manitoba Championship, and he's with our Kathy Gauthier.
Well, certainly in a provincial final, we would expect a close game. We've got a close game. Ron, did you expect to steal that 2-4?
No, that was a bit of a surprise. I think their team made a bit of a mental error and you know, a little bit of a sweeping error, and it was very fortunate for us, and hopefully we can capitalize that on the game.
Let's talk about your game plan. Normally, you've been known as the guy that makes the big draws, and yet yesterday and today we're seeing you make the big double takeouts. Is that a real shift for you?
No, not really. I mean, that's the way the games have been dictated. I did make a comment that I hadn't thrown very many draws lately, because normally I play over half. But, you know, we just got to do what we have to do here and score a deuce somewhere down the line and try to force another game.
Did you play differently? You're one up without. Or one up with, I'm sorry.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's, you know, we're a point ahead in the first 5 with the Hammers, so we're happy about that. And, but both teams are making a lot of really great shots, so anything could turn around at any time. So it's a matter of just trying to force the issue, and I think scoring a deuce for us would be crucial.
Scared you there, eh? Thought I took the last rock advantage away? Good luck in the second 5.
Thanks.
Back to you, Joe.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Ron still has that game face on. Mark Lukowich missed the draw in the 4th end, gave up that steal of 2, missed a draw in the 1st end actually as well, and gave up a steal of 1 there. But here in end number 5, came back and made this shot, drawing against 2, perfect weight, perfect sweeping, and Lukowich has come from behind before in this select, and he is with our Kathy Gauthier.
First of all, congratulations. What a great shot you made right there. You looked really good in the 4th end as well. What happened on that?
It was just a matter, it started to overcurl. Perhaps it fudged up a little bit on us. Something that does tend to happen. It was unfortunate. It was a big turning point.
You looked a little bit indecisive. Chris put the broom down, walked to the side to play the draw. Were you thinking about playing the hit there in 5?
In the 5th, no, it was a draw all the way. It was the only shot on my mind. So we just had hit T-line there. Only thing to do.
So you're in a situation where you're 1 down without, you got 5 ends left. Does that table with the Buffaloes over there play anything into this last 5?
It certainly does. It's just going to make us play as hard as we possibly can.
Great. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Joe.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Mark. Coming up, a feature on Jimmy O.
$7.5 million of anything is a lot. $7.5 million is Friday's Lotto Super 7. It's a whack of cash.
On February 23rd, a whole new galaxy of stars will appear in Brandon, and prime viewing locations are going fast. Scott Tournament of Hearts single-day passes are just $30, or pick up a voucher at Safeway and redeem it only at Ticketmaster in Brandon for an $8 saving. And remember, your ticket also gives you free admission to the renowned Heartstop Lounge. For non-stop fun, don't miss the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Where stars are born today.
Jim Okolita joined Canada Safeway while he was still in high school. When Jim was offered the job as manager of the Dauphin store in 1989, he jumped at the chance.
Safeway's been an excellent place to work for me. I've been very successful with them, and they've been very, very good to me. Their beliefs in amateur sports is something I really like, and supporting amateur sport, and I think that's a real big plus.
You want to hold on to that? There you go. Just wait.
With our customers, our goal is obviously customer service. We have to be customer service oriented. Every customer out there is actually our boss. They're paying our way. We thrive on customer service and try to satisfy them and making sure we have everything to their needs.
The affable Safeway manager has been curling competitively for almost 15 years. The 2002 Safeway Select marked his 3rd trip to the Provincials, although Jim took a roundabout route to get to this year's Select. This was the year he was going to back away from competitive curling. But when his friend Jim Todera came calling just before the zones, Jimmy O agreed to take one more run at the Provincials.
To win the zone is a big feat, there's no doubt about it. You just have to be a little bit lucky, I'd say, but you have to rise for the occasion when the time comes up. And if the team is really clicking in and you're just in that zone yourself, it's an accomplishment. I think I've been trying for 4 years in Winnipeg and maybe about 10 years here, maybe 12 or 14 years. I've been trying, made it 3 times, and I think that is quite a feat in itself. It's a very tough field, no matter who it is. It's going to be a very, very even field this year. I can say that everybody's going to have the same chance. I don't know how you could rank these teams. They should be all pretty equal, and I think anybody, whoever gets hot, could go.
Well, Jim Okolita, you are so right. Anyone can get hot, and the hottest team so far this week has been Mark Lukowich, and it definitely is an accomplishment to get here, and all 32 teams proud of that fact.
And I always go back to, there's no question that we have noticed the difference of not having the Jeff Stoutons, the Kerry Burtnicks, the Vic Peters in the field, but there also are great teams like the Dave Smiths, the Howard Restalls, Rural Manitoba, Brian Fowlers, Peter Prokopowicz, teams that we usually see in here who did not boycott. They just were not successful in winning their zone or their MCA spot. And the challenge of teams always at provincial, national, and world level is to beat the field that you are given to play in.
Look at the numbers for Grant Misselbacher.
Some great solid performance, and quite frankly, we would expect to see those kinds of numbers from these teams, or they probably would not be here. So an interesting first 5, both teams really wanting to play for very different reasons. Ron Gauthier's team's back against the wall. If he doesn't win here, there is no other game. And for Mark Lukowich, wanting to win this Buffalo outright right here, right now.
And actually for the Lukowich team, lost 2 really key shots in a way. The obvious one is when Mark pulled up light and Ron took the 2. But that Chris Sushi shot when he missed a wide open hit, that's sort of an emotional sort of a kicker for them. So they have to be able to sort of keep their heads in the game and not get too paranoid over that kind of thing too. It easily can happen. You can overreact to shots and miss your calls and that kind of thing too. So it'll be interesting to see how they do react to those 2 key misses.
Well, and I talked to Mark just before we talked publicly on air, and I asked him about those 2 shots, and he said the 1 in 4, there's no question that it was a mental mistake. They know that coming this way, coming the home way, where the ice is thinner, it's only 1 inch at this end, 3 at the other to keep the surface flat. It does fudge, it does smudge, it does pick and go, pick and go, pick and go. And so that was a mental mistake. The Suchi one was different. It was an absolute pick. They were sweeping it through no one's fault. But you're right, Don. It's how you bounce back from them, whether it's your fault or not, that really dictates what happens.
Well, you can't be sitting in the hack thinking, I wonder what this is going to do. You know, you got to just throw it. And it's tough. It's easy to say sometimes, but it is tough on the mind.
Take a look at some of the great shirts that Safeway provides to all of the competitors at the opening banquet. For those teams that are successful in advancing to the Final 8, another set of shirts are provided.
Yep, yep, yep.
Lukowich lies 2.
That's a very good shot.
It's a good shot. Indeed, 2 points in the house right now belonging to Mark Lukowich and his squad, throwing the Yellowstones this morning.
Ron Lukowich with Ron Gauthier with the hammer in this end.
I wasn't sure if you were talking about Ron Lukowich or
I think I'm going back
Mark,
to your comment
Gauthier.
in the first end there.
Okay.
Certainly hoping for the roll there, wanting to use that corner guard with last rock advantage.
So now Dave Elias, he'll want to hit and roll in behind the rock just about on his first one, but he wants to make sure of it on this one. Great numbers for Dave. He's had a played a sensational week, actually.
Very solid. Comes from a great gene pool, Art and Irene Elias.
Just a shade. Well, now it's kicking back.
That little
a bit.
hook back in there.
But thin double there for Ron.
Why you want to be high side and roll in front of the other? You want to go roll on top of the other.
It's normal.
Chris is calling for a hit and roll, not thinking about a double. But Chris is at that end.
Double.
Stop! Hurry! Oh!
Great shot.
Got one, got two.
Well, Chris is right from the call from the other end.
Could see Dave's motion saying that the rock ran really straight. Not sure whether they were playing the double out of his hand or hit and roll. Ron wasn't very verbal about what he wanted.
No.
But this rock on the center line just rides it and rides it, which makes those doubles a lot easier to play, quite frankly. And so they call it well, and they make it.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. It's a nose. Good.
So now a chance for the Gauthier team to play the hit and roll behind the guard.
Well, they either want to roll right behind or they want to roll to the wings. They don't want to keep staying somewhere near that guard. Very different path for this teams to get here. Mark Lukowich's team talked about having a very good season this year. They stayed very close to home on the Manitoba Curling Tour, but won a couple of bond spills. Some great numbers by Chris, particularly the hitting game. Winning Valor Road, and they won Gimli. They lost a couple qualifiers in Portage. They lost the finals of East St. Paul and qualified Grand Forks. So very strong year by Mark Lukowich. Certainly winning this today would just cap that season off just perfectly.
Gets a bit of a roll, but not enough to get behind the guard.
Well, that's the danger. You want to get that roll perfectly, but then you don't want to make it easier for the other team to get it. Now, maybe a little easier hit and roll here for now, Chris Suchi. Still tough. They've had a little trouble being able to judge.
Numbers a little lower for Chris, particularly the hits, but don't forget he would have been penalized for that picked stone. Even though it's no fault of his own.
Oh, this is not a good shot.
Just gets it.
And it was that hit percentage that was much lower than the draws. That's where the emotions tend to
Well, you
build
see,
in.
Chris is a really, really emotional player out there, and you kind of wonder after that last run when he hit and roll, or when he missed the wide open hit, does he think about this?
Well, I know, but I mean, if we got to keep it on the other side of the line for a while, that might be too much. Okay.
What the rollout does allow, though, is for Chris Fulsher to try to get behind that corner guard. That corner guard does belong to the Gauthier team.
It's not bad.
Gotta wait. Nothing, nothing.
No, no, no. Oh, it's heavy. It's heavy. Now,
Yeah, right back.
A lot of room.
You can see this did not curl at all like they had thought it might.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah, letting each other off the hook a little bit here. That was a good opportunity for Chris Fulcher to come in behind, but it just wouldn't move.
Well, I think just right in here. It's just.
I know it's like gray area.
Perhaps there's a run down there in the middle, just off center. It seems to just stay right in there.
Switch Suchi's rocks. Yeah.
Well, you heard the comment there from Lukowich.
Because we gotta do something here.
They're going to switch the rocks with
justice with his last rock.
the front end and Chris Suchi's third stones.
Normal wheat.
All of these rocks are pretty good. These are the rocks that you will see at the Canadian Scott Tournament of Hearts, at the Briar, the MCA rocks, which is another great advantage Manitobans have of having these rocks. But absolutely, it is a truism that they're not 100% matched, and psychologically is more important than anything. And if for any reason they feel that Chris is not throwing well and he may start to have doubts in his own mind about whether it's him or the rock, then the best thing to do is what Mark just suggested, is to switch those stones up and give him a new set.
Just about. Good throw, Bigger.
But I agree, Kathy. Sometimes you have to do these things just because, just a psychological thing, and especially with a guy like Chris Suchi, who's quite an emotional player. You sometimes just suggest you just take the initiative, what Mark's done, and just say, look, we think we may have problems with the rock. We just switched it. Yeah, okay, then fine. You know, let's do it that way. So, good move.
heard Ron Gauthier say in the fifth end break there that looking to score 2. If he can get behind the guard, it's a good opportunity. That'll happen in this end.
Whoa! 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 Yes! Yeah, yeah. Okay, whoa. It's down the nose. Okay.
Call from Ron halfway down was giving up on the roll behind the guard, wanting to roll to the outside. Chris hoping that it would still continue to break. As a result, they've got the nose.
I had to get on earlier to get it out to the side. I had to get on it early to get on the side, but I thought you had a chance to get it inside.
No, this tail's a little heavier and bigger.
Yeah.
Gauthier, once more? Well, what did we take last time? We were outside the edge of the rock, weren't we, last time?
Yeah, but the rock was here, though.
Let's take edge of the rock this time, then. I like edge of the rock.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you like Suchi's ice? He was taking like right down center. That's too tight. This is nice. Yeah.
Good comments. At this level, it doesn't really matter. In fact, at any level, it doesn't matter which position that you're playing. It's really important that all the players watch the ice so that if Digger's got any doubt in his mind, goes down, talks to his front end, they're just confirming in his own mind that the ice that he's taking is good.
Yep. No. Whoa. Yep. Yeah.
It was close to the roll this time.
Too much. No, a little bit of frustration there for the first time for Mark Lukowich. Slammed his broom down. This is the first time we've seen this actually from him. That was a crucial shot in his mind. He gets that one and he forces Ron.
Jeez. Okay. Close or what?
He thought he has this. He throws it really, really well halfway down the ice. It's just starting to break. You can see when the whoa goes to yeah. And then it rolls too far.
Yeah, he knew how important that was. He had to force Ron
to give up control of the hammer.
Yep. Well, just clean.
Oh, clean. I bought.
And so Ron Gauthier successfully blanks this sixth end and maintains control of last rock as we head to 7. Gauthier leads Lukowich 4-3 in the B-side final.
In April 2003, they will travel across the globe to the center of the curling universe to renew an annual rivalry known as the Ford World Curling Championships.
Can you hear it? Can you feel it coming on? A spirit touching us all together in Winnipeg. And this is where the world is one.
Now you can spend less time copying and more time doing business, thanks to a connected digital office.
Yes, Icon.
Finally, an efficient copy center that can actually make a CFO happy.
Yes, Icon.
Imagine printing 1,500 bound manuals in 10 different cities at the last minute.
Yes, Icon.
When it comes to communicating any kind of business information, imagine what Icon can do for you.
The Safeway Select is brought to you in part by Wellington West Capital. Information is free. Knowledge is priceless. The Crocus Investment Fund, bringing your investments home. And by Pepsi Cola, the joy of Pepsi.
In the 2001 Safeway Select Final, Dale Duguid is trailing Kerry Burtnick 7-6 as the Granite Skip prepares to throw his final rock of the 8th end. Burtnick lies 3 in and around the 4-foot, and Duguid needs a piece of the button to salvage a point. If he misses this shot, the game is over. But the 98 Safeway Select champion is more than up to the challenge. Duguid coolly draws the 4-foot, nipping the edge of the button to get his single point and evening the game at 7-all, heading to the 9th end.
What a sensational shot.
Under Pressure is brought to you by Wellington West Capital. Information is free. Knowledge is priceless. And by the Crocus Investment Fund, bringing your investments home.
Well, not as many rocks in play in this year's Select Finals last year's, but the tension, you can feel it from the both teams, is just as high.
It is for sure. The stakes are the exact same.
Interesting conversation we heard between the two skips, Ron Gauthier and Mark Lukowich, talking about the ice, talking about some of the shots they had played in the game, and wondering whether Hans had tweaked the temperature in the building.
One of the things that both of these teams have is a lot of experience, certainly not at a B-side final with, I mean, Ron's been here before, Mark's won the A-side, but not in having ever won the province. So I consider them pretty much newbies at the provincial final level, but they also have played a lot. And so they are very equipped to pick up changes. And they were talking about, you know, whether Hans and Eric were expecting crowds and what they would do, and if they aren't getting crowds, and with the people coming in and going out, what they have agreed absolutely is that down the center of the ice, rocks are running much straighter. But the second it gets off, as Diggers started to do on the hit the last time, that they just break and run. And that's one of the fantabulous things about curling, is that even with such incredible stakes on the line, you have the two opponents chatting amongst themselves. You don't see in a provincial final, certainly none that I ever played in with baseball, that I went to talk to the other pitcher about what exactly you're going to be throwing to our opening hitter.
No, they're both agreeing on the same thing. No, you're absolutely right. That is the beauty of curling. The guys who they become good friends and they talk about the strategy out there. They're almost like helping each other. Geez, I thought you were a little inside on the last one. Maybe you should straighten that out. Mind you, that's gamesmanship. But no, you're right. They do sort of tend to help each other. It's just a very civilized sport.
Hard.
On occasion.
Hard.
On occasion.
There are other people there wouldn't be conversation amongst. Yes, true.
Actually, it turns out sometimes your greatest enemies are on your same team. We've seen that, too.
This week.
Yes, exactly.
Last night.
Yeah, it is. It's a frustrating game.
One of them. Hit that same one right in the nose.
Throw PL, Dave. Let's not get cute with this.
Okay. Inside, hit the inside of the...
Want to hit it either just thin or right in the crutch, one or the other. Out turn.
May sound like a funny question, but it's not, because with the rocks being in the middle, you would probably take similar ice for both turns. Dave is wanting to confirm that they're playing with the out and which rock to hit first.
Great shot.
Very nice.
Very precise. Exactly what he called.
Even though it's a tight guard, it's the 7th end. Digger is playing this game to win, not to be conservative, and so he's asking Dave to get around that stone that's in the front of the house.
Pretty good.
Line's fine.
Wait's pretty good.
Room.
First time we'll have a chance to look at the clock. This is the away end. This is the end that rocks tend to slide a little bit further. Doesn't tend to get fudging. Up until now, we've seen about 24-second ice.
No. Okay.
Certainly showing us that the conditions are the same today, which is not a surprise, but that they've had all week.
Ha!
The local sponsors would like to thank the Manitoba Liquor Commission, Manitoba Hydro, Mayor Equipment Limited, Harris Pharmacy, Neepawa, Monsanto Canada, Redfern Farm Services, and the Neepawa Auto Dealers for making this 2002 Select a success.
Stay close.
And Joe, we should thank the incredible volunteers in Neepawa that have worked very, very hard to get this event here, to put this event on, and have done a tremendous job in all parts, from decorations to the saloon to just the whole thing has just been done tremendously. And I know that the curlers appreciate it.
talked about in the last end about the switching of the Chris Suchi rocks, and looks like he still has his pair.
No, he doesn't.
There's that
Here's the story. He's throwing the skip stones, and Digger is throwing his. Now, if in fact there's any issue, and it was Mark Lukowich that wanted those rocks changed, it is extremely unusual that a rock set that might not be matched would not go down to the lead or second, but go up to the skip.
No, you're absolutely right. That's incredible. If you are going to switch, you don't want to switch them with your skippers, that's for sure. That's the last person.
Well, it was a good switch because that was a pretty good shot.
Most times, those things are psychological.
Down to it. I like moving it and rolling out to the 12 foot there.
Same weight as Dave?
Yeah.
Okay.
What it does say to me is that Mark is probably convinced that those rocks are fine, that maybe Chris was just playing with the handle a little bit.
But still, I agree with you. You never do that. You never change them with the skips. You always change them with the lead or second.
And ironically, that is one of the differences that the three-guard zone has brought to the game. Usually when a set was not matched, you used to give it to your lead. But now the theory is that the leads rocks are so important that they be placed in the exact right spot and that the seconds are throwing more hits. Usually, it is the second that throws a set that maybe is not perfectly matched. Not the skip.
See, there's a key. Boy, is that ever running straight down the middle there compared to the sides. That is a rare hit and roll out here for Chris Fulcher.
Here's the other half of the set that used to belong
Well, we
to
had
Mark
that.
Lukowich.
We had that outside possibility that perhaps this might have been the leads rock, but no, it's the skips. That's a key rollout actually for Chris Fulcher.
Oh, it's a huge one.
Because with his tight guard, if he can get this one in behind, he's got a chance to steal.
Go then. Hurry then.
Question about that. Needed to stick around somewhere.
Yeah, hard. Go hard. Come on, hard.
This ice is running much straighter. We're really, really starting to notice the difference.
But then even on the sides like that, I thought they would at least get on that one and hope that it's starting to move. They wanted to get it back further than that, get it in.
Normal or bump?
Give me something softer. Bump's good.
Okay.
Well, you can watch Global for great PGA golf action beginning next weekend with the Nissan Open, which starts at 2 p.m. on Sunday.
Stay close.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wants to roll away, but stick around.
Right over.
Successful in doing so.
That's a great shot. It's most important that he sticks around on that shot. Play for hit and roll.
So now as Mark Lukowich makes his way down the ice, we're going to find out whose rocks he's throwing. He's throwing the lead rocks, number 1.
Okay, so they've switched, and he's throwing lead rocks, and we know that Chris is throwing his rocks, so they've all just started to flip them all over the place. It is unusual, though, that the skip would give up his pair.
Whoa. Whoa. No. Whoa. No, Davey, hold on. Hard. Davey, hard.
Oh, so close, so close.
He's sure almost
You
there.
can see it leaning there, coming near the end. Even brings a smile on his face a bit.
Try this. Come on. Quarter of an inch, perhaps.
Well, both teams are rolling. They're just not rolling behind the guard.
That's a long roll on that one. That's a tough shot. Chris Fulcher moving it as far over as possible like that made it really, really difficult for Mark.
So Ron Gauthier now looking for
Easy.
the hit.
Whoa. Clean it. Oh. Get ready.
Whoa.
No.
that's hanging a bit.
Sit down. Sit down.
Chris Succi trying to sweep it out of the rings, and it will hang around.
That is what they call a precious biter.
That's a fabulous biter, because if that rock rolls
It's out,
out,
and Chris is in behind.
absolutely, Mark Lukowich is going right behind there and putting pressure on the Gauthier team. Ron knows he got fortunate there.
Boy, that little extra weight from you sure made a difference.
Yeah. Now important for Lukowich to stick around, because the guard at the front, could he possibly split it into the rings?
It's certainly something that they'll be looking at. It's more important than it would normally be, Joe. Sometimes if that rock wasn't there or it was higher, you'd like to stick around and force the guy to make a good shot, but if you roll out, you roll out. But you can be sure if he does roll out, they'll be looking very seriously at playing that split.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, no, Davey, no.
No.
Okay, Mark.
Nicely done.
Those are not easy shots out there. You got to make sure you get out to the room properly.
It's,
you're right,
everything's curling here.
Well, the intern laughed at.
Both of his curled.
I know, but he's throwing them soft, too.
Okay.
So. Different throw than me.
But I agree with you, Joe. I think if he'd rolled out, I think he'd have gone for that split there. What do you think, Kathy?
Touch and
been
go.
tough.
It's not an easy split, but it's certainly something that they would have had a good discussion about.
The final rock here in end number 7. Ron Gauthier looking to blank the end again and maintain that advantage of last rock.
Chris talked about everything curling. Ron feeling that he throws the rock different.
Maybe he doesn't. It's a nose hit and a point for Ron Gauthier. He leads by 2, but he's not very happy about it right now.
Just does curls. The intern runs straight over there. The intern curls.
WestJet. We'll see you there.
When it comes to farm fresh ideas, Granny's knows best. From our family to your family. Granny's Manitoba grown quality chicken and turkey.
Farm fresh taste and country goodness, Granny's.
The Safeway Select Men's Provincial Curling Championship is brought to you in part by Canada Safeway. Select premium quality.
On February 23rd, a whole new galaxy of stars will appear in Brandon, and prime viewing locations are going fast. Scott Tournament of Hearts single-day passes are just $30, or pick up a voucher at Safeway and redeem it only at Ticketmaster in Brandon for an $8 saving. And remember, your ticket also gives you free admission to the renowned Heartstop Lounge for non-stop fun. Don't miss the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Where stars are born today.
WestJet. We'll see you there.
When it comes to farm fresh ideas, Granny's knows best. From our family to your family. Granny's Manitoba grown quality chicken and turkey.
Farm fresh taste and country goodness, Granny's.
The 2002 Safeway Select provided an exceptional opportunity for some of the young guns on the Manitoba curling scene to step forward and take center stage. Mike McEwen, Kyle Wernick, Ryan Fry, and the Bone Twins were just a few of the fresh young faces chasing their dream at this 2002 Select. The list of Canadian and world champions that Manitoba has produced is unmatched by any other province, and hopefully Generation Next will be able to attain the same lofty levels of excellence.
Select Company is brought to you by Pepsi Cola, the joy of Pepsi.
And the young guns, only Mike McEwen, the former junior champion, able to make it to the championship round. David Bone last year was in the final 8, but this year was eliminated in 2 straight, which is a valuable learning lesson that you can't take anything for granted once you get here.
It is indeed. I talked to the boys one night, and we're just, they just didn't know what really happened to them. They were out before they really got going. Didn't feel that they had played particularly bad. David was beating himself up pretty much for one of the games that they lost. Felt that, you know, he was personally responsible for the last stand. Just couldn't seem to stick around. And you know what? That's sometimes it's your weekend and sometimes it's not. Mike McEwen, it was nice to see him make the final 8. That's the team, of course, not the exact same team, but Mike himself, who won the spot last year to come here, had to give it up to go to the Canadian Juniors, lost the finals. This year he's out of juniors, makes it to the men's show, and makes a really good showing.
Well, we talked last night about the broom of Oris Melischuk. Let's quickly show you the snowshoe. That's what I think it is.
It's a contraption. There's no question about it. And I'm not sure he's about to patent it, but there are lots of strange devices that people throw with. There's no doubt about it, and it's their comfort. And there's the Gauthier relic back from the schoolboys in 19 whatever that was.
It looks like it could belong to a witch instead of a curler. Or Claire de Blonde. Claire de Blonde had one like that one too, and they used to periodically have to pull it out of the garbage can because the ice maker would put it in there thinking that's where, oh, it was pitiful.
Well, the situation here is that the red rock in the 4-foot belongs, of course, to Ron Gauthier, and the yellow rock in the 12-foot of Mark Lukowich.
And that red stone in the 4-foot is the first stone thrown by Grant Misselbacker. Mark Lukowich wanting to get the corner game going, wanting to set up chances for 2.
Now he's asking to hit and roll behind the red rock. Why not the yellow rock?
Well, if he plays the hit and roll behind the red one, Ron will probably, he's thinking, play the run back. If they don't hit it perfectly, they wind up peeling their own out, Joe. Then they go around the corner guard. That's the theory.
Get hard! Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Skippy.
Hard!
Okay.
A little bit of a lean, but not quite enough.
It's normal, Dave. Same weight.
Wanting to roll away from there a little bit. Doesn't want to set up the double.
Get close.
No more.
And rolls behind the guard. Nice shot.
I'm not sure if he really wants that to happen. Now gives Mark a chance to come down to it with some guards start to make a move on it.
Definitely wanted to roll away. The tough thing is that if you roll away from that area to take away the double, if you roll into the middle, you give them the hit and roll. But by rolling, what happens is that he does, in fact, tuck to the tee line. They corner freeze it. The game's on. It's where do you roll that they can't make the shot?
Dave Elias says the line's perfect. Now it's a question of the weight.
Go, go, go! Hard! Go, go, go! Hard! Go, go, go!
Oh, there's
nice
a perfect shot.
Nice shot indeed.
See, that's outstanding. Dave's had a sensational game. He's really played well.
Well, he's had a great game, and those are the shots that really are sensational. Dave's known for over the years being just a great second man, a great peeler, a great hitter, but it's the finesse game that he's really come into his own this week.
Oh, okay.
That is a huge shot.
So right now we're playing follow the leader.
Whoa, round! And away.
No.
Just wanting to come back down on top of that corner freeze, that excellent stone.
It's got
a lot of weight.
A lot of weight.
We've never ever looked at this one.
I don't think he's even going to touch it.
And this one is going right through.
One of the few miscues for Christian Fulcher. Love to throw that one again. Of course, he can't.
What? The out turn. Yeah. No?
I know.
Well, this agreement between Lukowich and third Chris Fulcher is to the shot. Suchi wanted to put it on top of the yellow stone. Mark wants to go behind the red rock on the other side.
Both are good calls. Mark wants to spread them out, score at least 2 this end. If he makes this perfectly, he's still got Gauthier in all kinds of trouble because he'll have one buried behind a red stone, and he's got a great corner freeze thrown by Dave Elias.
Lots of room. Hard. Come on. Hard. Hard.
Yeah, they don't want to lose this. They want to get it, keep it in.
Hard. 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 Hard.
That's a good shot. We wanted to make sure that he was deep enough that he didn't set up a double.
The double.
Draw, don't we?
Got all?
No.
You want to play at it? Bump?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the decision is just to move that yellow rock that's partially into the 4-foot. Just move it back a few feet.
Well, I think, yeah, I think they just want to clear it.
Want to get it out of there?
Yeah, bump. When they were meaning bump, Joe, I don't think they were meaning bump it back. I think they were talking about throwing bumper weight at this. Their concern is the buildup of yellow stones in the house. They want it out of play and hoping to roll over with it as well.
Well, they will roll into the open if he gets it.
Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Hard. Hard, Davey. Hard. Attaboy. Nice shot.
Now, decision, do you hit and roll, try and roll in behind? Well, they're going to be in the guard, or they could roll in behind the other one.
Which turn do you like?
Start with that first one.
Good shot, full.
Normal.
Actually, roll either way would do all right. If he rolled in behind his own, then Ron couldn't get it because he'd be jamming on his own too. So
Yeah,
I
he just
think
doesn't
that
want to
might-
sit there. He's got 2 great
He's got to
options.
make
You're right.
sure, yeah.
A roll
But
somewhere.
I think he just wants to play a little more cautiously and, as you say, try and get his deuce for sure.
Yes! Hard! Hard! Hard!
Nice shot.
The perfect roll.
Just
Too
touch
far, though.
Too far, but it's perfectly in behind the guard, but it's too far for
third
the
shot.
Yeah, it's for the third shot.
Not for lack of trying. He threw that really well, Krasucci did. They swept it really, really hard. They wanted the roll, just not that extra 1/4 of an inch.
Thanks, Bull.
Otherwise, he'd be line 2, but it's still a darn good shot.
So now Ron Gauthier is going to play on top of the other yellow rock on the other side, the left-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, perfect. Just 3/4 would be great because I'm going to be shot at.
Just to try and come in here.
You can see that the Lukowich team certainly has the Gauthier team on the run this end. If he doesn't make this shot, they've got the tap back later for 3. Well set up by the Lukowich team.
Hey, wait for
Great
it.
shot by Dave Elias. Certainly put this end in the control
Yeah,
of the
lines for
Lukowich
good.
team. They have
Okay.
last rock.
No.
He's got a lot of weight
Nothing.
here.
No.
He might just do the same
Well,
thing
he
at
doesn't
third.
doesn't want to touch it.
No, he really doesn't want to touch it. Touch it, pushes that rock
Yeah, 'cause
back.
He's
That's
now, no, that's
that's
the
a real
worst.
bad shot.
Yeah, that's the worst thing he could do because he's now, that moves the yellow one on the other side over for third shot now. Yeah, that's just the worst thing Ron could have done.
Sorry, guys, quick there. Eh? Just a little straighter, so it's a little quicker now.
Yeah, this is not a good situation here for Ron Gauthier on this one.
Straighter.
They're playing. Just a hit on this one here. Just roll it over in the front there because, and then if Ron tries to hit this at all, he can't because then it ends up jamming it on his back and he'd hit and roll out in the open, allowing Lukowich a hit for 4. So Ron's got to hope that Mark doesn't, that just maybe hits and stays right there. If he hits and stays right there, maybe he's got a chance to bail out. But if he rolls in front of the face of his own here, he's got Ron in deep trouble. This is a crucial shot.
First rock of the 8th then for Mark Lukowich.
Whoa. Whoa.
This one he may look back on as the one that won him potentially the Manitoba Championship.
Whoa, TV!
Don't know if he got enough of a roll.
Well, he's not bad.
Jam.
He needed a little more roll.
We had to save it. We had to save it.
Yeah. Hey?
Wow, gutsy call here.
No, it's either double.
Oh, this is
Double and roll.
Ron's looking at hitting this, doubling this back, hoping to get it by this one. Spill this, get them out, and hit and roll, and could possibly roll over into this side. It's there. It's a tough one.
Well, I think he's even looking at acknowledging that he'll probably make the jam. What he's saying is that we'll play this hard.
Half rock is the outside one.
They're playing to score 2 yellows out. He knows he's giving up at least a point.
He's got a chance here to bail out.
Oh, yeah.
This is Ron Gauthier's biggest shot of this B-side final.
Yeah. Hard. Right over, Grant. Right over. Right over.
I don't know if he could have made it any better than that.
That is a great shot.
That's a good shot, Ron.
Super shot.
Now, is there the potential for Lukowich to make a double here?
There's all kind of potential, but this is a great shot. It's a huge shot because if he hits this a couple of inches thicker, what he does is he jams 3 yellows onto each other, giving him a chance for 4. Hits that one thin enough. Great brushing by Grant over here to get that rock behind as much as possible that other stone. Lukowich certainly does have chances. There's no question about that. But given the scenario, that was probably as good as Gauthier could have got out of that.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's going to be normal for sure. Okay?
Yeah.
And this is the opportunity where you have to gamble if you're Mark Lukowich.
It's pretty straight with this out turn.
I think if the cross of the hair is not the worst thing, Mark.
So I think we better go here then.
Right in the nose is perfect, though.
Yep. That should be very close.
Okay.
Well, he's looking at hitting this on the nose, back into here, hoping it'll spill across the face.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
Chance for 3. Tough shot, but a chance for 3 for sure to take the lead. Go into the 9th.
Sure.
And with the fact that he knows that if he does lose this game, he has a second chance.
Never crossing his mind, I can guarantee you.
It's worth the gamble, though.
Yeah.
It's worth the gamble
Oh,
to go for
definitely.
this.
You're right. You're right. But it's not crossing his mind about the next game.
No. But he has that comfort zone. The final rock here in end number 8. This could be for 3.
Great
Oh, he
shot.
made it.
Whoa.
What a fabulous shot.
And Mark Lukowich answers back in end number 8, the double for 3 and the 6-5 lead in the B-side final. He's won 7 in a row. If he makes it 8, he's the Manitoba champion.
Where can you find maximum value and great taste?
Sweet! Sweet!
With over 30 Manitoba locations in towns and cities large and small,
Hurry! Hurry hard!
where you're treated just like family and made to feel at home.
Hurry! Hard! Yep!
Chicken Chef, serving up fresh, wholesome meals that always hit the spot.
Come on in, the Chicken Chef. We're cooking up something good for you.
The Safeway Select Men's Provincial Curling Championship is brought to you in part by Manitoba Public Insurance, Don't Drink and Drive, and by Icon Office Solutions, the way business gets communicated.
What does it take to excel? It takes hard work. It takes dedication, determination, commitment. You give it your all. Be proud of your athletes. We are. Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring.
There you can see what these two teams are playing for. The Purple Heart, a trip to the Briar, the Safeway Select Provincial Men's Curling Championship. And these two teams have put on quite a show this afternoon.
Two back-to-back great shots by the skip. Descend, all controlled by the Lukowich team. Gauthier got in trouble early, tried to bail himself out. Makes a great shot here. They sweep it over. They make it as good as they can. But that's not good enough because it's followed by an even better shot. A great shot by Mark Lukowich. He's got the run back, but he has to hit it absolutely perfect in order to score 3. Kick that field goal, put him ahead for the first time. They make it watch Kritsuchi. He knows, they know. It's 3 on the board.
No, that was, you're right, amazing end. Just fantastic. Those sensational shots by both of the skips. Doesn't get any better than that.
That's the stuff that you want to see, knowing that our teams are going to a Briar that will be packed full of the who's who's of curling. There's some teams missing for sure, but when you look at Furby leading in Alberta, you look at Howard leading in New Brunswick, Mark Dacey, Guy Hemmings.
John Morris.
John Morris is already in, and Pat Ryan's doing great out in BC. It's going to be a real notables Briar for sure, and I think that judging from the last stand, Manitoba will be well represented.
So for the second time in this B-side final, Ron Gauthier finds himself behind by 1.
Both teams will take the same approach into this end. For the Gauthier team, they want to score a minimum of 2 this end. And for Mark Lukowich, he wants them to score either 1 point or he wants to go 1 ahead. No matter what, both teams do want points going up on the board. For some on this end, Mark Lukowich wants last rock coming home.
Well, it is time to announce the grand prize winner in the Safeway Select Looking to Skip Town contest. Congratulations to Betty Henderson of Winnipeg. She's the winner of a trip for 2 to the opening weekend of the Nokia Briar 2002 in Calgary, courtesy of WestJet, Sheridan Suites Calgary, Eau Claire, and the Nokia Briar 2002.
Well, congratulations, Betty. That will be a fabulous week.
Yep. I'm free that weekend.
I'm sure Betty could care less, Joe.
Well, just putting in a plug there.
We, in fact, have some winners. It was Sean Adams that won Nova Scotia earlier today at 4:30 Central in BC. It will be the winner of the Craig Ryan semifinal against Dean Jones, who has stormed through undefeated so far. In Alberta, Randy Furby waits for 1 o'clock. The winner of, oh, it is Backer, in fact, ahead after 3. He's playing Vavrick. Howard and Kennedy face off at 1:30 this afternoon to represent New Brunswick. We know John Morris is through. Quebec is not until next weekend, and the other that is playing this weekend is Saskatchewan, and we're seeing either Bitts or Hartung coming through there to play Carlos, who has dominated that round robin in Saskatchewan. Lots of action on the men's circuit this weekend, determining teams to advance to the Nokia Briar.
And of course, a little later on this afternoon on that other channel, we've got Manitoba's Carl German playing in the Senior Men's Canadian Championship.
Great run for that team.
They both, you can see both the seconds, just outstanding games.
Yep.
Well, it's simple. I do want to say a big thank you at home to a great friend, Val Robinson, who agreed to move into our house this weekend with Ron Curling and myself wanting to be here as a supporter, but also having a great chance to work for Global. It's very tough when you have small children.
Just a little more.
As Dave Elias certainly does and is having a good game. Hello to our little ones at home, Gaetan and Jacques, who I'm sure are bored with their father by now and have gone on to Lego. Thank you very much. Bell's partner Gomer, their great friend, is here cheering them on.
Whoa.
Oh.
Did he get it out?
I don't know.
Well, Ron will tell us.
That is really a crucial situation. Must be out.
It's nice to see. A little chat with Dave. Smack. Now what? There's a confident call. Don, take that one away.
Time out.
Timeout called by the Gauthier team.
Well, you see, they get this guard is so close.
See what they want to do.
That strategy. Oh, it's definitely on, eh?
Well, it's for sure on.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it's a crucial miss.
Well, we can still peel the guard and then let him.
We can hit and roll on the rings.
No, I don't know. If we played to blank the end, we also just peel the guard. No,
Yeah, but we got a chance for a deuce right now.
Yeah, we played to be. Unless you go around and play for 3.
Let's go around it. I think we got to be aggressive.
Or you go out of the open side and play for 2. Yeah. Got 3 options.
Well, originally we said we went to the open to have the hammer coming home. I think we should stick with that game plan.
You want to peel?
Well, I don't know.
Why?
I mean, why would we change it midstream? If we were going to go
Why? Because we got to...
I said if we're going to go for the deuce, then we'll just go around it on the first one. Why are we going for the deuce now? We didn't want a deuce because otherwise we would have went around on the first rock. Why do we want it now? I don't understand what the difference is.
All right, let's peel.
Stick to the plan that we had.
Okay.
Well, that's a very interesting conversation, and I'm sure the people at home are probably not in agreement with this. I guess the game plan, and Ron expressed it, was to blank this end.
Yeah,
but if you have a chance to score 2,
it's not a club game we're playing.
And take the lead.
We're not playing a club game right now.
Well, Chris doesn't like this. The other guys do.
The reason?
Yeah, peel.
The reason Chris doesn't like this is because he sees the opportunity to score 2.
Or even 3, possibly.
Or maybe even more if they go around the center, where the issue is at stake that's a little bit different, is that we're in a situation where great teams have a game plan. I don't know that I necessarily agree with Ron here, but their game plan coming into this game was that if they were in a scenario...
All right.
Well, so
if
much
they
for
could
the
have last rock coming home,
Well,
that's what they
Ron
wanted
just
to
says
do.
he wants to be 1 down with the hammer.
Yes, he wants last rock
that's
coming
it.
home.
It's that simple. And that's why he said, let's stick with that. He says, otherwise we would have gone in earlier. You know, so when you look at his logic, you got to agree with him on that kind
How's
of stuff
this look
too.
to you?
Chris doesn't agree, and the front end does agree.
Just gonna keep it up a little, eh?
Unfortunately for Dave, he beaks the guard, and so now it looks worse, and you can see that Chris is still not very happy with it. Grant will be talking him through the game plan scenario, I'm sure, but game plans only work if everything's executed perfectly. But a big break for the Lukowich team for sure, let off the hook.
Well, I don't know if he wants to do that either.
No, he certainly wouldn't have.
Now he gives... Maybe Ron might change the game plan now.
Out to the 12-foot there. Roll up to the 12-foot. Yeah.
Bumper.
Okay.
No change.
Not interested at all in rolling behind here. That rock is behind the tee
Well,
line.
it rolls in behind, and it's no good too, because then they just come down to it.
You bet. Really wanting to make sure this rock sticks around, but sticks around out in the wings.
Dip. Whoa. Dip. Whoa.
Building into the age-old argument, do you want to be 1 up without or 1 down with? Oh, yike. This is not going to roll to the wings, so lots of miscues here for sure.
But Mark at least knows what Ron's put his cards on the table. Yeah, he knows what his plan is here. So Mark's saying, well, I'm going to try and steal him. No, he's playing a hip.
I like hack.
You like hack?
I want to stick.
What?
I want to stick for sure.
Okay.
Is hack okay? Okay.
Just get by the guard, though.
But actually for Ron, it's not like, as you were saying in the age-old discussion of what you want to do in that. Ron definitely knows what he wants to do. He wants to be 1 down coming home with a hammer. That's it. And he's sticking with it. So there's no doubt in his mind. It's not an iffy kind of a situation.
Whoa, easy! Bumper! Easy!
Whoa, 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 whoa. Stay close!
Yeah, hard! Whoa, whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa.
Calling it off was a gutsy call to call it off. Great shot, but
Numbers coming up a little bit overall for Chris Suchi. A little struggle early on. Let's watch this rock go by the guard. Up here, you'll hear a whoa. I want you to look at the line and watch the space or lack of. Somebody said whoa. There's not a lot of air.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It.
I don't want to play it any finer, Donnie.
No, it looked a little closer the first time. I don't understand this.
Kind of wait. Good. Okay, whoa.
Close.
Stay close.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Oh, they've ignored Chris on his call.
Yeah.
Outside.
Whoa, I know. Yeah. Right over. Attaboy.
Good shot from third, Chris Fulcher.
Let's shoot full shot.
Get on it. Good. Normal weights. How's that look? That should be good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yep.
Just normal, eh?
Yep. Well, roll would be great. Normal weight.
What Mark wants to do is he'd like to roll in behind there and force Ron to take one. That's his game plan.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Close.
Close?
Whoa.
No, no.
Whoa.
No, no.
Whoa.
No.
Starting to go.
Wait over.
Oh, that's a pretty good shot.
Still a good
Just
shot.
a fraction more, and he's got it perfectly in behind. Great shot.
A happy frustration. He's
But you know-
certainly not missing by a much.
You know what? I got to be impressed with the composure of Mark
Oh,
Lukowich.
fabulous.
Like, he is really throwing with confidence. You watch the release. There's no wobble in the hand there. He's playing with a tremendous amount of confidence.
And I just really admire his attitude on the ice. He talks about ice being excellent and will get the roll, and he's just a really positive influence on his whole team.
Play it.
Yeah.
Play
Same
it.
plan, wanting to hit this stone and move to the outside for sure.
Hard. Hard, guys. Right up. Right up, right up, right up. All right.
It's a good shot. Wanted to roll a bit.
Has he made it easier now for Lukowich to get behind the guard?
I would say it's slightly easier, yes.
For sure, because the rock is closer to the guard. You see, there's still lots of room for him to get by and not very far to roll.
Yeah, for Mark, he'd love to make a perfect hit and roll in behind here and force Ron to maybe play the raise on the front, or even a draw for one.
The other thing, too, is the position of that stone now. We've progressively moved up the house, and so a really good roll by Lukowich here leaves very, very little room for the Gauthier team to try to score that point.
Well, the game plan for Ron Gauthier in this end was to blanket. The game plan for Mark Lukowich was to force him to take one.
Whoa.
Keep it going.
Oh, keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Whoa, 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 whoa.
You can see Mark Lukowich not happy with his release, or
I think
something it picked up.
Well,
out of his
yeah,
hand.
you're right. I think they were sweeping for just to keep it straight and that kind of
I know what you were thinking.
I'm surprised because they had a really good shot at that roll.
That's what I was hoping.
They seemed to think it caught something. I think they were sweeping it, but it wasn't even close to the roll, and they definitely weren't going to try and roll the other way.
It's a bit of a.
Yeah,
we
'cause
heard him say something, but Mark was just saying, yeah, there's certainly no question that given that he had nosed it, had they got off of it for even a nanosecond, he would have had the roll.
Yes.
Ron Gauthier wanting just to settle himself down just a few more seconds.
Well, the nerves really come into play here. There's no doubt about it. He's played this whole end saying he wants to blank it. He knows that's in his control.
He's got a great shot.
That's what he's done.
So the game plan for the 9th end works out the way Ron Gauthier wants. Now, the question is, can he make the game plan work in end number 10?
When it comes to farm fresh ideas, Granny's knows best. From our family to your family. Granny's Manitoba grown quality chicken and turkey.
Farm fresh taste and country goodness, Granny's.
As morning breaks in communities all across Canada, Robbins helps you start your day with our special blend coffee.
A full-bodied brew, guaranteed fresh on the first taste, or we'll replace it.
And Robbins mealtime combos and freshly prepared subs are welcome anytime.
At work or at play.
Part of your community. You always get a break at Robbins.
The Safeway Select Men's Provincial Curling Championship is brought to you in part by Canada Safeway. Select premium quality.
Your $1,000 check, Mr. Brown.
Fantastic!
Your $1,000 check, Mr. Brown.
Fantastic!
Your $1,000 check, Mr. Brown.
Fantastic!
The new Set for Life lottery. What would you say to $1,000 a week for 25 years?
$1,000 check, Mr. Brown.
Fantastic!
Your $1,000 check, Mr. Brown.
$1,000 a week for 25 years. Play Set for Life now at your lottery ticket center.
When it comes to farm fresh ideas, Granny's knows best. From our family to your family. Granny's Manitoba grown quality chicken and turkey.
Farm fresh taste and country goodness, Granny's.
After compiling an impressive record on the Cashfield circuit and coming oh so close 2 of the previous 3 years, Dale Duguid finally won his first Safeway Select title in Verdun. Supported by 3rd James Kirkness, 2nd Jim Spencer, and lead Doug Armstrong, Duguid was just too much for the rest of the Select field, overpowering 95 world champion Kerry Burtnick in the Select final. Duguid went on to a 3rd place finish at the 98 Brier, bowing to Quebec's Guy Hemmings in the semifinal.
Champions is brought to you by the 2003 Ford World Curling Championships, April 5th to 13th, 2003 in Winnipeg, where the world is won.
Well, in 1998, Dale Duguid was a first-time Manitoba champion. 2002, we will have another first-time Manitoba champion.
We will, and we've talked about the emotions in this game. This is the big test for both teams in this end. If Ron's team wants to prolong this day, it has to generate at least 1, if not 2 points here. And for Mark Lukowich, he knows that a great end here means that they're on their way to Calgary. And so his decision was to play it in the top of the forfeit. We've seen that fabulous placement by Shane Kilgarren. And now to defend against that corner guard, Mark's asking him with his 2nd shot to guard the stone that he placed there, won his 1st one.
Line should be pretty good.
It's all there.
I want a guard.
Tight for sure.
I want a guard. Line's really good.
Come down now.
Oh, line's perfect. Line's perfect.
Well, that's a heck of a shot.
Very nice.
Non-sweeping.
Shane has done his job
you couldn't have carried it down
extremely
and put
well.
it in better.
2 great shots.
Considering the adrenaline flow, that's a pretty fine shot. Very difficult to put on a perfect guard like that.
I like the freeze, even.
Like the freeze? Okay, I guess if your Rob's all right, eh?
All right.
If you rub, it's
Tasty
okay.
rubs are on, yeah.
Straight freeze. That's good.
Perfect placement.
So now Ron, the game's on. Ron gets something into the house, trying to freeze to the corner of the rock in the forefoot. But as they say, if they take the guard, he can roll in behind that corner guard, which is a great shot.
Pretty good.
Okay.
It's T-line.
It's all there.
Yeah.
A lot of weight.
Yeah!
A lot of weight.
Yeah!
A lot of weight.
Whoa!
It's a good shot.
We've just seen from the leads 2 shots that virtually didn't need any sweeping.
But we've also seen from the leads 2 great shots considering the pressure. And so the buildup begins.
Now we're into it.
That's good. That's good. It's a little bit.
Line's fine.
It's pretty good.
Just the guard.
Go for weight. Go for weight.
Whoa.
You want a top 12 foot?
Not quite what he wanted.
Hey?
But you're right, they've all the rocks without any sweeping, Joe, like you were saying.
That's locked. The red lock there?
No. It's about
Yeah,
2.
then let's...
Come and have a look at it if you want.
Okay.
Well, they come down to take a look at it. Let's just remind you of the situation here in this B-side final. Mark Lukowich wins. He'll be the Manitoba champion. Ron Gauthier wins. Then these 2 teams will play again this afternoon at 2 o'clock to decide the Manitoba championship.
Even if we hit it, I'd like to hit it right on the nose with back here. That's okay.
Yeah, well, even a hair on the inside. Eh? Just get by.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Trying to roll.
That's
right
fine.
there.
You know, you rub the guard a bit, it's okay too.
Okay.
Good discussion. It's important. Don, I'll let you tell us straight through that, but it's really important that, especially with the stakes on the line, that the thrower understand clearly what he needs to play.
Okay, what they want to do is hit this one, move it back into the back here, or back into this area at the back. They don't want to knock it through the house. They want to save it, leave the 2 red rocks sitting up at the top to maneuver a little bit later with the thirds and skips.
Whoa.
Real good.
Out there, Matt. Out there, wait.
A shot from Dave Soteric.
Wait. Gotta wait.
Gotta wait, gotta wait, gotta wait.
Gotta wait, nothing. Gotta wait. Gotta wait. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's a pretty good shot. Opens up the other side as well, so he's got shots on either. Digger's only got a chance to protect one side.
Chris Succi calling timeout for the Lukowich team.
Timeout, please.
Well,
What are we looking at here?
we're line 2 right now.
Pardon me?
Are we line 2?
Yeah, that's
It doesn't matter, I know, but
inside freeze. That'd be all good. Because then if he's trying to punt it in there, he's going to...
yeah, even if you move it 6 inches, not bad either, right?
We're probably better off being here.
Okay.
We're probably better off being here than touching it, okay?
Okay.
This is the shot. That's what I want.
Okay, he's trying to place a rock right here if he can. If he moves this back a bit, that's fine. And even if Chris says if they come down there and move this back a bit, that's okay too, as long as the angles aren't set up.
Hard.
Really nice, quiet confidence. You heard Mark Lukowich say.
But is he on the guard now?
Dave is on the guard for sure. He's starting to look at other options.
Well, it's not horrible. It's not great. A lot of rocks to come yet. There's so many possibilities. It's a little light in there.
Mind you, this is pretty good now, too.
Gauthier team does not have a lot of time on the
Well,
clock.
the only problem is you can't. If you play it, you got to play it to go like this, eh?
Yeah, true. Let's leave that for now. I like this better.
I mean, that isn't bad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad to play it that way.
You want to bump the yellow right out into the 8-foot there. I can play this one right now. Set up another...
Yeah.
Hear the comment from the back end there.
Which is a really good one. You want to make sure that you're
that
saving time for the back end shot. We're still on the front end.
Same weight, Dave.
One of the things certainly that Chris and Ronnie could have been doing during the timeout that
more,
Chris
actually.
Suchi played,
Yeah, back 12, yeah.
or rather
Got a
called, was to
Got a
decide what they were going to do
3
next instead of deciding this now.
They still have their timeouts, though.
One of them has been called. They have one.
Weight's good.
Okay.
Weight's really good.
Yep. Whoa.
Weight's really good.
Whoa.
Can I clean
Whoa. Whoa. It's going to be good.
Attaboy.
Very nice shot.
Well, that is a
Lukowich
great
still
shot. But there's a lot. He set up a lot of combinations here, including the one he just threw.
Yes.
I think even...
Lukowich has to get some out of here.
Well, we can't make the double, but I think we roll. If we can knock it over a little bit, that's good. Right?
Okay, just normal, normal up.
Let's just do normal. Let's make sure it's going to curl.
Okay.
Because we want to get in here.
So look, he's got to... Okay, he wants to hit on the inside here and roll over. And actually, if he can move this one over just a touch is fine, too. Take away that angle.
Chris Suchi bearing down, concentrating.
Whoa, whoa, yeah! Whoa! 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 Girl!
Didn't get the bump on that other red rock.
Not quite enough. He had to roll a little more than that.
Inch. Another inch. Good, double.
Talks about another inch. It is true. If this rock curls, they were yelling at it to curl. If this rock does curl up another inch, you'd see it would have scooted right in front, giving it a great shot. But what he's done is he's given them an out. He's given Chris Fulcher a chance. You can see what he can see. If he hits what he can see, both yellows go.
And then Ron Gauthier will be lying 3.
Close.
Yeah!
Yeah. Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa!
Come on. Come on. No more. Okay.
Just removes one. The shooter rolls away.
Break.
For sure. That was their door in. Nose hit, both go. I don't know whether he threw it back a little bit, too much weight, just did not curl.
A little too much weight, I think, Kathy. But still, he's...
Just a straight out guard.
And Lukowich is shot.
Yeah.
We know that in this gray path, as they've called it, the rocks run straight or he doesn't get near the guard at all. Just a little bit of extra weight.
Just make sure we get another one.
On the nose, he's
What do you think
fine.
about this ice here?
Snapping hard, eh, at the end.
So that's probably why we should be coming in. Yep. Spare it to come in. Okay, spare it to come in. What do you think of the ice?
Snapping hard at the end still, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should be, I don't know, should be close.
It should be close, yeah.
Looks like lost.
Yeah, he wants to make sure that he gets in. He wants to get into this area, but he has to get partially in behind this guard here. He can't leave it out here and allow a double for Ronnie. So he's got to tuck it in behind. He's got to get it in a little bit.
Line's fine for now.
Well then.
Their decision is the best way to guard this stone is by coming in. They don't like the other two red ones there.
Line's really good.
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh!
Lots of weight.
Oh, boy.
Well, you heard that, oh boy, from Mark Lukowich. He doesn't like it.
Just a touch too much weight.
3/4 to half, somewhere there.
Very key shot for Chris Fulcher.
Never give an opportunity for one player to make the same shot twice.
Oh, close. Close. Close.
Yep!
Got one, got two.
Lukowich lies, or Gauthier lies 3.
Well, there's a sensational shot for Chris Fulcher.
Well, let's look at that again. We always say you try not to leave the same shot for the guy twice. Chris went to school on this shot, and this time threw it a little bit lighter, threw that controlled hit weight he'd been playing. They waited as long as they could, and then they went. And the best shot is watch where his shooter goes. It goes way out to the wings, which is key, because if it sticks there, that's the way in.
No, great shot. The only positive thing here for Lukowich, a lot of room to come around.
Well, he's got the hit and roll as well. He knows it curls really hard.
He has to do. You know this. It curls at the end. Yep. Just that nice normal. Yep. Should be good right there.
One of the things we talk about is the emotions of Chris Suchi. There's where you hear fabulous confidence building to your skip. We know what this does. Mark, of course, you heard the deep sighs. He knows that Chris came in too deep. He knows that he gave Chris Fulcher that shot twice. Chris trying to pump him up and saying, you make a good one here, we can still get through this game. It's the mark of a great third.
Normal.
Well then. Yep. Hard. Yes. Hard. Whoa.
Looking for the roll, looking for the roll.
So close, so close. Within about a quarter of an inch of making an unbelievable shot.
Well, Mark Lukowich already looking ahead to potentially the next shot he has, and he thinks potentially he may have a shot at a triple because some of those rocks are grouped together, or at least a double.
Chris beating himself up a little bit on that one about the call, but to give credit where it's due, we have seen that this is such tough ice to call those absolutely perfect because they run and go straight, run and go straight. For the Gauthier team now, what they need to do is not stick this shot right here. Needs to remove it and needs to roll.
Ron Gauthier played this 10th in to score 2.
Oh, he was tight right out of his hand. Are they going to get it by? No, they're not.
Whoa.
And now he's looking at this 10th end just to score 1. To send it to an extra end now.
How are we going to get it here?
Oh, that's just a horrible shot for Ron.
But that red rock, though, in the 4-foot, still very dangerous. And with 1:31 on the clock for Mark Lukowich, they call a timeout.
No, actually, He's got 2 minutes.
2 minutes and 50.
Yeah.
Sorry, looking at the wrong clock again.
That was the biggest break for Lukowich, really.
I really know what the ice is for this shot. He's got to come to the 4-foot line, Mark. Yeah. Okay. Come to the 4-foot line. I think this will be very close, like right here. Yep.
How's that, Diggs?
I would imagine, I guess, Mark Lukowich was out of timeouts because his clock never stopped.
Yes, I was going to say he had called 2 earlier, and the teams are given 73 minutes and 2 1-minute timeouts, and once you use those 2, that's it. But he's got lots of time. He's got 2 minutes on his clock.
Should be close.
He's playing a guard, coming in the other way.
He's playing a guard. Elias shot rock.
Okay.
He's playing the other turn here. I guess he feels that if he played the out or pardon me, the in turn on the other side, it just cuts too much
It
this
cuts
way.
too much.
Yeah.
Small fraction less.
You got room? Clean it up.
How's the weight?
Whoa.
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 Line's real good.
Stay close.
Line's very good.
Clean it up. Stay close.
Hard.
Yep. Hard. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. 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 Good.
Great shot. Great shot. Ron calling for a timeout.
Shot.
Davey's played it quite a few times, so.
What's that, Dave?
No, let's just play. Make sure we get a point. We only have to bump it a couple inches, Dave. We got it already.
Time's up.
No, this is the shot. You've played it twice. I just got to move it an inch.
Yeah.
I can
this is
hit
the
half
shot.
a stone
We've
and
seen
still
this come
bump
down
it.
here all day. Bump it.
Yeah.
What do we need here?
Yeah, right there.
Never a doubt in Ron Gauthier's mind as to what shot he was going to call. He even had it in mind before he even called the timeout. Here.
Dave talking about running that, you see the yellow corner guard running it back and playing the pick. I don't think that's a good option either. I know this is a difficult shot, but Ron had the easier one on his first one, and as is usually the case, you get the one chance and got it going, and so now he needs to tap this stone, and he needs to hit the yellow one on an angle, on the red one on an angle, and needs to raise it about 3 inches to go to the extra end. Otherwise, Mark Lukowich will be on his way to the Briar.
The final rock of the 10th end of the B final. Will it be the final rock of this 2002 Safeway Select?
Yeah, clean it. Clean it.
Whoa,
yeah.
Whoa,
Whoa. A lot of weight.
Got lots of weight.
Does he got too much weight?
Does he have too much weight? Does he have too much weight?
Oh, it's close.
No, I believe
but
that
I think
Lukowich has won this game.
And so Mark Lukowich, like Jeff Stoughton, Kerry Burtnick before him, has swept the field at the Safeway Select, and he is your new Manitoba men's provincial champion. And now you know why they call it Valor Road.
Well, as great as that is for Mark, certainly for Ron, it's going to be a tough win to get over. His team set it up in the last stand. Full credit to Lukowich's team. Had the chances, but there's the guy that controlled the week. Not a loss on his record, not even one blemish.
Turnaround in the 8th end, but really, quite frankly, Kathy, and it's hard for you. I realize how difficult it is for you at this moment, but Ron's first shot, he had it. He had the end. He makes his first shot, and he's got the game basically. That was the tough one for him, is missing that first shot.
Yeah, the second one was really tough, there's no question, but for Digger to be able to just throw that guard, that's nice for him to be able to do.
But I think basically in the last end, after Chris Fulcher shot, it looked like it was really their end.
Congratulations, Mark Lukowich. Quite emotional, quite a tense finish to this game.
It certainly was. I just give my team credit for hanging in all the way. We know it's going to be a 10-end game or extra end game, hanging in all the way, and that's what we did.
You talked before about the fact that you'd never made it to Saturday play here in the Select, and what a way to do it. You swept the field.
That's right. You know, our team has been together for a few years now. We used our experience, and it's fantastic.
Talk about the big shot in the game for you. What was the difference?
The big shot was 3 and 8. We were 2 down at that point after Ron had taken 1, and we had the hammer. We knew we had to score 2 points in 8 at least, so we were going hard for our 2 points. It turned out we had a shot for 3, and we scored 3.
Comment about Ron Gauthier and his team.
Boy, we've played them lots of times this year. Every game has been just a nail-biter. And before we even started this competition, I had them very highly ranked.
All right, let's bring in the rest of the team, guys. Come on in here, and I'd like to introduce. We'll get Mark on this side, you guys on the other side here. I'd like to bring in Regional Manager for Canada Safeway, John Graham. And from the MCA, the President, Georgina Anderson. And John, your comments.
What a fantastic game, and on behalf of Canada Safeway, congratulations on being the 2002 Safeway Select Champions. It's truly my pleasure now to present to you this trophy and to make it official.
Guys, it's yours. Pick it up. How does it feel, Chris?
Fantastic.
Mark Lukowich has been a man of few emotions all this week, but they're finally coming out as he is your new Manitoba Men's Curling Championship. Congratulations to them. We'll be back with more on Global's coverage of this 2002 Safeway Select right after this.
Young. As morning breaks in communities all across Canada, Robbins helps you start your day with our special blend coffee.
A full-bodied brew, guaranteed fresh on the first taste, or we'll replace it.
And Robbins mealtime combos and freshly prepared subs are welcome anytime.
At work or at play.
Part of your community.
In skating, precision counts. With every movement, with every stroke, spin, and jump, our young Manitoba skaters strive for perfection. At Manitoba Blue Cross, we design healthcare plans with the same precision, striving for perfection. We encourage and support excellence and applaud its pursuit in all arenas of life. Manitoba Blue Cross, the color of caring.
Where can you find maximum value and great taste?
Sweet! Sweet!
With over 30 Manitoba locations in towns and cities large and small.
Hurry! Hurry hard!
Where you're treated just like family and made to feel at home.
Hurry! Hurry! Yep!
Chicken Chef, serving up fresh, wholesome meals that always hit the spot.
Come on in, the Chicken Chef. We're cooking up something good for you.
In April 2003, they will travel across the globe to the center of the curling universe to renew an annual rivalry known as the Ford World Curling Championships.
Can you hear it? Can you feel it coming on? touching us all together in Winnipeg. This is where the world is one.
This is the Safeway Select Men's Provincial Curling Championship, live on Global. Brought to you by Canada Safeway. Select premium quality.
In April 2003, they will travel across the globe to the center of the curling universe to renew an annual rivalry known as the Ford World Curling Championships.
Can you hear it? Can you feel it coming on? A spirit touching us all together in Winnipeg. This is where the world is one.
On February 23rd, a whole new galaxy of stars will appear in Brandon, and prime viewing locations are going fast. Scott Tournament of Hearts single-day passes are just $30, or pick up a voucher at Safeway and redeem it only at Ticketmaster in Brandon for an $8 saving. And remember, your ticket also gives you free admission to the renowned Heartstop Lounge for non-stop fun. Don't miss the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Where stars are born today. Turn me up. Come feel the joy all around. Each generation has found they've got their own kind of sound. So let it out. You got your own kind of groove. Maybe you can't sleep, it's your mood. Gotta take that leap, you can't lose. So shout it out. It's that joy of Pepsi. Oh, Pepsi. For those who think young.
$7.5 million of anything is a lot. $7.5 million is Friday's Lotto Super 7. It's a whack of cash.
Mark Lukowich, your Manitoba men's curling champion for 2002, 7-5 victory over Ron Gauthier in this morning's B-side final as Mark Lukowich sweeps the field here at this 2002 Select, winning 8 straight. First time ever he's made it to weekend play, and what a memorable weekend it'll be for Mark Lukowich and his Valero team here in Neepawa. Kathy Gauthier, your final thoughts about this week and this championship game?
Well, I think that for sure Mark, going through undefeated, demonstrated time and time again that he's very poised and he's ready to break through. I loved a lot of things I saw about him, the 8th end, not just his shot making, his attitude. And for Ron Gauthier, I'd say that one of the prices that you pay as a skip is that you got to make the last shot, and it wasn't the last shot. It was his first one that would have put him in a great position to force the extra game. It just didn't happen.
As you can likely hear, the closing ceremony is taking place behind us, and Don Finkbeiner, you know we've got a rookie from Manitoba going to the Brier, but he was certainly cool hand Luke all this week.
Well, that's right. And actually, as the spiel went on and on and on, he got better and better. And I think against Barry Tall last night, he proved that he can handle the pressure. And, of course, he proved it again today. But, you know, full credit to him. And despite the fact that top 3, so-called top 3 are not in it, Mark was great. And the pressure, as it mounted, he got better and better all the time. And I think it'd be a heck of a rep for us in the Brier.
Well, it's been a heck of a week for all of us here at Global here in Neepawa. We'd like to thank everybody on the Neepawa committee, all the fans, all the curlers for making this telecast another success. And my thanks, of course, to Kathy Gauthier and to Don Finkbeiner and to you at home for your support of curling on Global. That is the story here from Neepawa. Mark Lukowich and his Valero team, they are the 2002 Manitoba Men's Champions. Next year, the select goes to Portage.
Line's fine.
32 teams set out to win the coveted Purple Heart, a bit of cloth that says for 1 year you were the best in your province. And from the wide open field in Neepawa, one team had yet to lose a game.
We can do something really good here.
And she's going, eh?
That's Valor Road's Mark Lukowich with 2 lives this morning, playing Ron Gauthier from Deer Lodge. Locked up at 2 in the 4th, Gauthier makes things difficult, coming right into the 8-foot for the double knockout, sticks around to count 2. But there's lots of room in the house. Lukowich elects to draw into the 8-foot rings, and where's the mustard here? They just can't bring it in. Gauthier steals 2. Move to the 8th end. Time for the tricky stuff. Gauthier's final stone, a double takeout with the roll behind the guard. He nails it perfectly, throwing down the gauntlet. And cool hand Lukowich responds, gambling with the raised takeout, spilling the Red Rocks. Perfect. That's a 3-point end for the 6-5 lead. To the final stone in 10. Ron Gauthier attempting an angle raise to the button for the tie. The line is perfect. But the weight,
Too much weight.
a bit much. Lukowich takes it 7-5, your new Manitoba men's champions with a perfect 8-0 record. Mark Lukowich, Chris Suchi, Dave Aliash, Shane Kilgallen. Congratulations, fellas. The All-Star team featured Manitoba's winning skip and 3rd Chris Suchi. The All-Star 2nd was Kelly Tibble, who threw for Barry Tall's Swan River Rink. And A.J. Girardin from James Kirkness's foursome was named All-Star lead. While the Lukowich rink gets ready for the Brier in Calgary a month from now, the Senior Nationals finish today.
Finals. Give a little
German facing.
Gauthier, the winner advances to Calgary. Global Sports is up next.
Look familiar? The harder you try to fall asleep, the harder it is to do. A Restonic adjustable bed lets you customize your sleeping position. Raise your head, raise your legs. Perfect sleeping comfort with push-button ease. And they're sold locally, so you can try before you buy. Contact your local Restonic dealer and find out more about Restonic adjustable beds today. Available in Winnipeg at any Best Sleep Center location or call 1-800-383-7755.
Now, get National Post delivered for 13 weeks for less than 50 cents a day. More than 40% off the regular newsstand price. Subscribe to Canada's fastest growing newspaper for outstanding coverage of national and international news and commentary from the likes of Christy Blatchford, Mark Stein, Andrew Coyne, Cam Cole, and Diane Francis. Call now, and for as little as $12 a month, you'll enjoy National Post's newly expanded sports, arts and life sections, and Financial Post and FP Investing. Plus, on weekends, there's reviews, investigative reporting, and Saturday Post spirited coverage of the arts, entertainment, fashion, books, food and drink, and TV Times magazine, all for less than 50 cents a day. And you'll get National Post Business Magazine every month. Take advantage of this limited time offer. Call 1-800-668-POST, and for just $12 a month, you'll get the stories nearly 1 million Canadians rely on each day. That's 1-800-668-POST to subscribe now.
There's only two ways to get tighter abs and a firm, flat tummy: the hard way and the easy way. Introducing the revolutionary Ab Solution. Quick and efficient Ab Solution's gentle electronic pulsing tightens abs, makes love handles disappear. Relax and watch Ab Solution firm up thighs and buns or tone up your arms. Ab Solution, compact, lightweight, and extremely affordable at only $49.99 from SuperTech.
Ab Solution is available at these and other fine stores.
So many things in farming can seem out of your control. But the trick to managing what you can't control is controlling what you can. There will always be weeds, and with Roundup, you will always be able to control them proactively to give you control over yields, crop quality, and costs. When you farm with Roundup, you have control because you have the power.
Why invest in a Manitoba fund for your RSP? Consider this. ENSIS
is a true venture capital fund focused on providing you, the investor, with significant long-term growth. Through ENSIS,
you invest in Manitoba companies to help them grow and prosper. Plus,
you receive 30% in tax credits in addition to your regular RRSP tax savings.
A focus on growth, tax credits, and investment in Manitoba companies. That's the ENSIS advantage.
What matters to you is important to us. Email us at globalnews.winnipeg@globaltv.ca.
It was the final day of competition at the Safeway Select in Neepawa. So far, it's been Valor Road's Mark Lukowich's tournament to lose, as he was undefeated coming into today's B-side final, and he was looking for his first ever Manitoba championship, but he would have some good competition in Ron Gauthier of Deer Lodge. Second end action, Gauthier already up 1-0, but Lukowich holding the hammer in the second end, and he plays off of his own stone in the 12 to take out the red in the 8. When the rock's clear, he holds a 2-1 lead. Gauthier strikes back. The Deer Lodge skip would take one in the third, and in the fourth make this beautiful double takeout to lie 2. But Lukowich held the hammer in this end. Final stone would need a draw and a little more of the 8, and he comes up short. It is a steal of 2 for Ron Gauthier, 4-2 after 4. Fast forward to the 8th, and the turning point of the game, Gauthier up 5-3. Lukowich plays the double and counts 1, 2, 3, and the commanding lead for Cool Hand Luke. Both teams would blank the 9th, and in the 10th, Ron Gauthier plays this nifty little pool shot, but the red rock rolls a little too long. It is a steal of 1, and Mark Lukowich is the 2002 Manitoba Safeway Select champion. He will represent the province in Calgary. After the match, Joe Pascucci talked to the winning skip.
Quite emotional, quite a tense finish to this game.
It certainly was. I just give my team credit for hanging in all the way. We know it's going to be a 10-end game or extra end game, hang in all the way, and that's what we did.
You talked before about the fact that you'd never made it to Saturday play here in the Select, and what a way to do it. You swept the field.
That's right. You know, our team has been together for a few years now. We used our experience, and it's fantastic.
Talk about the big shot in the game for you. What was the difference?
The big shot was 3 and 8. We were 2 down at that point after Ron had taken 1, and we had the hammer. We knew we had to score 2 points in 8 at least, so we were going hard for our 2 points. It turned out we had a shot for 3, and we scored 3.
They'll be rocking in the Rockies, some of the province's crowned champions today, and the field looks great. Russ Howard, Randy Furby, John Morris, and a notable Pat Ryan of British Columbia returns to the Briar. This Safeway Select Curling Update has been brought to you by Canada Safeway Select Premium Quality. Sticking with curling in St. Thomas, Ontario, it was the finals of the